Chapter 353. Igu, who was fighting with Long Junyang, also heard Yin Qingfeng's words. He immediately said to Yin Chengfeng, "Junior apprentice brother Yin Chengfeng, your memory is really bad. Didn't we just meet 7 days ago? Why are you saying that you haven't seen my junior apprentice sister Han Xian for a long time?" Yin Chengfeng had also noticed Igu, who was not far away. He had only been looking at Xia Han Xian and did not notice that Igu was battling with Long Junyang. Seeing that Igu had summoned his Southly Ancient Bell and was being suppressed by Long Junyang, Yin Chengfeng smiled proudly. "Senior brother Igu, a mere 4th level C of Soul's Realm brat, can beat you like this. Watch me fight him," Yin Chengfeng said as the silver ring under his feet flashed and appeared in front of Long Junyang. Long Junyang attacked with his claw, but it was blocked by Yin Chengfeng's 8-armed golden body. Seeing that Yin Chengfeng was asking for trouble, Igu immediately backed off and came to Tang Ao and Xia Han Xian. Junior brother Tang Ao, with junior brother Yin Chengfeng's help, these few beast friends will not be able to do anything to you. Junior sister Han Xian and I still have things to do, so we will take our leave now. Igu cupped his fists at Tang Ao and was about to leave with Xia Han Xian. Tang Ao cursed in his mind. This honest guy is not being honest. He's going to take Xia Han Xian and run away. Then Tang Ao saw the love that Igu had for Xia Han Xian, which was beyond that of a normal disciple, and the way Xia Han Xian was watching the battle between Yin Chengfeng and Long Junliang like a curious baby. Tang Ao sighed in his mind. This is really an honest guy. No, I have to save him from the ocean of love. So, Tang Ao said helplessly, "Since senior brother Igu has things to do, I will not keep you here." However, the cultivation of a disciple from the Riding Wind Martial School is still low. If the black water dragon bastards attack them, I might not be able to stop them. Tang Ao was telling the truth. Among the 5 people from the Riding Wind Martial School, besides Yin Chengfeng, who was at the 3rd level of the Sea of Soul's Realm, the other 4 were at the 1st level of the Sea of Soul's Realm. It seemed like they had been exploited a lot by Yin Chengfeng. On the Black Water Dragon side, besides Long Junyang, there was a 4th level Sea of Soul's Realm and 3 2nd level Sea of Realm Warriors. Once Chengfeng was delayed by Long Junyang, the 4 would be in danger. After Tang Ao finished speaking, Xia Hanxian waved her hand and said, "It's fine. Senior brother Igu can go first. Senior brother Tang Ao and I are here." Ao Xia and Xia Igu said. Xia Xian after Chengfeng after Xia Tan. Chengfeng Tian, Xia and Tian. Chengfeng Ti after head disciple Tang Ao and I are enough. You have a responsibility of the martial school on your shoulders. You can't waste time. Xia Hanxian suddenly remembered what the great master had told her before they left, so she hurried to tell Igu. Igu also thought about this matter. That matter was very urgent, and Igu had already wasted a lot of time here. Igu's expression immediately became bitter. "Senior Igu, don't worry. With me and Tang Ao here, the disciples of the Riding Wind Martial School will be fine." Xia Hanxian looked at Igu's bitter face. In the past, Igu did not trust her and Tang Ao's power. But what Igu was thinking was true. He didn't know if his junior apprentice brothers and junior apprentice sisters of the Riding Wind sect were all right, but by the time he returned from his business, little junior apprentice sister would definitely have been abducted by Yin Chengfeng or some other bastard. After talking for a while, Igu left unwillingly. Not far away, Igu turned around to look at Xia Hanxian and found her waving at him happily. "Senior brother Igu, don't worry. Senior brother Tang Ao and I will take care of everything here. I can take care of everything by myself," Xia Hanxian said and waved her fist at Igu. Chapter 354. After watching Igu leave, Tang Ao and Xia Hanxian started to pay attention to the battle between Yin Chengfeng and Long Junyang. Tang Ao noticed that Yin Chengfeng was only at the 3rd level of the Sea of Soul's Realm like him, while Long Junyang was at the 4th level of the Sea of Soul's Realm. However, Yin Chengfeng was indeed the number 1 warrior of the Wind Riding Martial School, and he had inherited the title of Chengfeng. After battling with Long Junliang for so long, he did not show any signs of losing. Senior brother Tang Ao. Who do you think is more powerful? Senior brother Yin Changfeng or that bad guy? Xiao Hanchuan's beautiful big eyes stared at the two who were fighting, but she could not tell who had the upper hand. Normally, when Igu was here, she would ask Igu. But now that Igu had left, she naturally asked Tang Ao. As for who had the upper hand, Xiao Hanxian didn't even want to know. Tang Ao was also watching the two's attacks. According to Tang Ao's plan, he should kill Long Junliang with one arrow right now. He was just flying in the air, and this bastard dared to shoot at him. Now, he would let him have a taste of his own medicine. Tang Ao immediately said, "Those bastards on the other side are extremely shameless. Since they haven't used their shameless methods yet, we should take the initiative and gain the upper hand." Tang Ao said as he took out the sun-slaying divine bow from his storage ring. Then, he took out a silver-feathered arrow from his storage ring. This silver feather arrow was shot by Long Junliang at Tang Ao, but Tang Ao took it away after removing the pressure. After taking out the silver feather arrow, Tang Ao connected with the six-light mirror and injected a powerful pressure into the silver feather arrow. Senior brother Tang Ao, should we go help senior brother Lu Chengfeng now? Xiao Hanxian saw Tang Ao take out the sun-shooting godly bow, so she also took out a rainbow feather. Tang Ao had seen this feather not long ago, but Tang Ao did not know what it was. Junior sister Xiao Hanxian, what is that thing in your hand? Tang Ao asked out of curiosity. Xiao Hanxian coughed lightly and said seriously, "This is a spirit artifact that my master forged for me. It's called a rainbow plume. Back then, master refined a total of 3 for me. Now this is the last one." As Xiao Hanxian spoke, she felt a sense of regret in her heart. At the same time, she felt that her master was too stingy. Why didn't he prepare more treasures for her? When he heard that the rainbow-colored feather in Xiao Hanchuan's hand was the legendary rainbow-colored plume, Tang Ao broke out in a cold sweat. In this life, Tang Ao had never seen a 7-colored plume, so he didn't know what a 7-colored plume was. However, in his previous life, although Tang Ao didn't have the chance to see a 7-colored plume, he had heard of its name. It was said that this 7-colored plume could kill all martial artists under the life and death realm. Tang Ao was preparing to reach the peak of his life, so he couldn't fall here. Therefore, Tang Ao hurriedly asked Xiao Hanxian to put away this spirit artifact. Junior sister Xiao Hanxian, you should put away this 7-colored plume first. Now is not the time to use it. Oh, then when will senior brother Tang Ao use the rainbow plume? After Xiao Hanxian put the 7-colored plume into her storage ring, her beautiful eyes looked at Tang Ao in confusion. Tang Ao smiled mysteriously. Heaven's secrets cannot be revealed. I will tell you when the time comes. Chapter 355. Long Junliang, who was fighting with Yin Chengfeng, suddenly felt a murderous intent envelop him. Shocked, Long Junliang hurriedly raised his head to look. Long Junliang then saw Tang Ao, who was holding the sun-shooting divine bow and aiming at him. Long Junliang was shocked and shouted to the people behind him, "You guys go kill that kid." Just as Long Junliang finished speaking, Tang Ao released his grip, and the silver arrow streaked across the sky towards Long Junliang like a shooting star. The silver arrow tore through the air and arrived in front of Long Junliang. Long Junliang snorted coldly when he saw this. Then, a phantom of a 5-clawed golden dragon appeared behind Long Junliang. F*CK, a 30th heaven life spirit. Tang Ao cursed when he saw a dragon-shaped life spirit shoot out from behind Long Junliang. This life spirit was a resplendent 5-clawed golden dragon. This 5-clawed golden dragon was called a 5-clawed golden dragon, not because it had 5 legs. In fact, 5-clawed golden dragons were the same as ordinary dragons. They only had 4 legs, but unlike ordinary dragons, 5-clawed golden dragons had 5 claws on each foot, so they were called 5-clawed golden dragons. Although Long Junliang's 5-clawed golden dragon life spirit was only an afterimage, it was the highest grade life spirit Tang Ao had seen in this life. Even in Tang Ao's previous life, he did not have such a high-grade life spirit. At this moment, Tang Ao was a little envious of the heritage of these 10,000-year-old large clans. They could actually allow their descendants to use such powerful strength at the Spirit Sea realm. If the 29th Heaven Life Spirit Phantom was only equivalent to the 23rd Heaven Life Spirit, then Long Junliang's Life Spirit Phantom from the 30th Heaven was an existence that surpassed the 23rd Heaven Life Spirit. With a loud boom, Tang Ao's silver arrow hit Long Junliang's five-clawed golden dragon life spirit. However, to Tang Ao's surprise, the five-clawed golden dragon life soul was abnormally powerful. After withstanding such a silver arrow, Long Junliang didn't suffer any damage. Long Junliang was not injured at all, but the great elder of the five elements demon realm turned pale and spat out a mouthful of blood. As the great elder spat out a mouthful of blood, the entire dragon clan was thoroughly shocked. In this short period of time, the great elder, who was the most powerful person in the dragon clan, had inexplicably vomited blood twice in a row. The great elder of the dragon clan had an ugly expression on his face. Just now, when he was discussing with the younger generation of the dragon clan, he suddenly suffered the backlash of the pressure from the very beginning. In front of this pressure, he was as insignificant as a duckweed in the ocean. Facing this kind of pressure twice, although the great elder did not suffer any injuries, his heart of martial Dao had a slight flaw. In the underworld emperor's secret realm, after Long Junliang blocked Tang Ao's arrow, he immediately rushed towards Tang Ao angrily. Tang Ao, I'm going to King tear you to pieces. Long Junliang controlled the five-clawed golden dragon life soul and charged towards Tang Ao with bared fangs and brandished claws. Looking at Long Junliang's appearance, it seemed like he was going to tear Tang Ao into pieces. When Tang Ao saw Long Junliang rushing towards him, he immediately said, "Little Loach, wait. You and senior apprentice brother Yin Xingfeng are having a fair one-on-one duel. At this moment, the victor between you and senior apprentice brother Yin Xingfeng has yet to be decided. Why are you looking for me? It seems like you think that my senior apprentice brother Yin Xingfeng is not your match." Chapter 356. Seeing Yin Xingfeng sneak attacking Long Junliang, He Jiao and the others no longer held back, and a great battle was about to break out. He Jiao and the other three Sea of Souls realm second-level warriors instantly surrounded Yin Xingfeng. Seeing their eldest senior brother being surrounded by so many people, the others from the Overlord sect couldn't stand it any longer. They immediately charged towards Yin Xingfeng. Tang Ao saw this group of Sea of Souls realm first-level rookies charging over, and hurriedly went to stop them. Junior brothers and sisters, don't be anxious. I, Tang, will definitely be involved in this matter. The 8 great sects of the Yellow Mystic Continent are of the same branch, and, as a disciple of the 7 Kills sect, I naturally won't just stand by and watch. Tang Ao spoke righteously, but he didn't realize that this matter had started because of him. The disciples of the Overlord sect felt their hearts tremble when they heard this, and they looked at Tang Ao with sparkling eyes. After Tang Ao finished, he shouted, "Little Loach, I know you like to bully others with numbers. Today, your grandpa Tang Ao will play with you guys." 7 cyan lights instantly flashed behind Tang Ao. They were the 7-petaled green lotus sword souls that were using the 7 killing sage Dao. The 7-petaled green lotus sword souls shone with a green light, and immediately transformed into 7 sharp swords that were 3 feet and 3 inches long. Long Junliang was worried that he couldn't teach Tang Ao a lesson because of Yin Xingfeng, but he didn't think that Tang Ao would immediately go to his death. "Tang Ao, you bastard, die." After Tang Ao joined the battle, Long Junliang immediately shook off Yin Xingfeng and charged towards Tang Ao. Tang Ao looked at Long Junliang, who was charging towards him, without the slightest bit of fear. Just now, even the combined might of the other 3 secret techniques could not kill this trash. Now, he was charging at him alone. He was simply looking for a beating. It just so happened that the Green Lotus Sword Souls hadn't completely merged yet, so he could use him as a test subject. After Long Junliang made his move, Tang Ao didn't waste any words, and the 7 sharp swords instantly shot towards Long Junliang. While these 7 swords attacked Long Junliang's upper, middle, and lower body, they also sealed off Long Junliang's escape routes. Thus, no matter what, Long Junliang could only take Tang Ao's attack head-on. Before Long Junliang summoned the 5-clawed Golden Dragon Life Soul, Tang Ao's move might have caused damage to Long Junliang, but after Long Junliang summoned the 5-clawed Golden Dragon Life Soul, Tang Ao's move had little effect. 7 extremely sharp azure swords tore through the air and slashed at the 5-clawed Golden Dragon's huge body. With a series of crisp clangs, Tang Ao's 7 slaughtered divine Dao's azure lotus swords were repelled by the 5-clawed Golden Dragon's life soul. After being repelled by the 5-clawed Golden Dragon life soul, the Green Lotus Sword still had a trace of dragon aura wrapped around it, causing it to tremble incessantly. Upon seeing this, Long Junliang said smugly, "Tang Ao, you're just a trash life soul at the 9th firmament that has mutated. How dare you block my powerful life soul at the 30th firmament? You really overestimate yourself." Long Junliang looked at Tang Ao with disdain. When he saw that the life soul Tang Ao had been using was only a mutated life soul at the 9th firmament, he felt even more disdain for Tang Ao. In Long Junliang's eyes, the only thing on Tang Ao that was acceptable was Tang Ao's sunshot divine bow. Long Junliang was very disdainful of other things, including Tang Ao's battle Sage Bone Life Soul. Although Tang Ao's battle Sage Bone Life Soul was powerful, it was only a weak life soul at the 23rd firmament. As for Long Junliang's 5-clawed Golden Dragon life soul, it was a powerful life soul from the 30th firmament. Chapter 357. However, these warriors were just too weak and were easily killed by Tang Ao. Therefore, Tang Ao did not know that a high-rank life spirit could suppress a low-rank life spirit. After understanding this, Tang Ao also put away his Green Lotus Sword spirit. Although the Azure Lotus Sword Soul had advanced from the 9th firmament to the 21st firmament, its grade was still too low compared to Long Junliang's 30th firmament life soul. Even if Tang Ao could use the Green Lotus Sword spirit to fight against Long Junliang, Tang Ao did not plan to do so. After putting away the Green Lotus Sword spirit, the battle Saint Bone Life spirit on Tang Ao's body suddenly shone brightly. Then, under everyone's shocked eyes, Tang Ao rushed toward Long Junliang. It was obvious that Tang Ao wanted to fight close combat with Long Junliang, who had the body of a beast. Right then, there were more and more disciples watching the battle on the ground. Other than some branches on the ground, the sky a bit further away was filled with people. Most of these warriors were only at the 6th or 9th level of the Yuan martial realm, and the highest cultivation was only at the 9th level. They were not from big sects, and the highest cultivation in some of them was only at the 2nd or 3rd level of the Sea of Souls realm. However, among the warriors fighting in the sky, the lowest cultivation was at the 2nd level of the Sea of Souls realm. And the warriors of the 1st level of the Sea of Souls realm from the Tyrant Emperor sect were thought to not even have the right to fight. This kind of battle, which was extremely rare to see, attracted more and more people. A lot of warriors lit up their incense sticks, telling their friends to come and watch the battle between the powerful warriors. Is that Brother Tang Ao from the 7-kill martial school fighting against the beast race? When the onlookers saw the moves of Long Junliang and the others, although they could not accurately determine the origins of Long Junliang and the others, they could recognize that Long Junliang and the others were from the demon race. Brother Tang Ao is indeed abnormal. He dares to fight against the beast race with his human body. He is indeed a role model for us to learn from. Some people were cheering for Tang Ao, so naturally, there were people who were discrediting Tang Ao. Role model? Bah! These disciples of the mysterious yellow 8 major sects are just born in a better family What's so great about them? They're just a bunch of trash. This person's shocking words immediately attracted the attention of the crowd. Immediately, someone asked, "May I know which sect this senior brother is from? What's his cultivation?" Hearing the question, this person immediately said arrogantly, "Listen up, I'm afraid I'll scare you if I say it. I am the direct disciple of the Tong Tian faction, Niu Chong Tian. Today, I am at the first level of the Origin Realm, and I have experienced over 100 life and death battles without a single defeat." After Niu Chong Tian finished speaking, he sighed and said, "Experts are truly lonely. Oh, in that case, let's have a match." Unknowingly, Xia Hanxian had already landed on the ground. Although Sea of Souls realm martial artists could stay in the air as they pleased, after Tang Ao joined the battle with Long Junliang and the others, Xia Hanxian felt very bored, so she landed on the ground. In the air, after Tang Ao activated the battle Saint Bone Life Spirit and fought against Long Junliang, he immediately felt the terror of the five-claw Golden Dragon Life Spirit. At this moment, although Long Junliang had only summoned a shadow of the five-claw Golden Dragon Life Spirit, it was much more powerful than normal life spirits. Tang Ao's battle Saint Bone Life Spirit was already rare among the 23 sky spirits. Chapter 358. After Tang Ao's battle Sage Bone Life Soul was shattered, the five-clawed Golden Dragon's domineering dragon might instantly seeped into Tang Ao's body. However, after the five-clawed Golden Dragon's dragon might entered Tang Ao's body, the six light on Tang Ao's neck flashed before the dragon might could be unleashed. It immediately dispersed the dragon might. After fighting Tang Ao for so long, Long Junliang was secretly puzzled. The dragon might on his life soul was obtained from the current Dragon Grand Elder. The people who had fought him in the past had long lost the courage to fight after being shocked by such a terrifying dragon might. However, Tang Ao was like a freak. No matter how much he was corroded by the dragon might, Tang Ao acted as though nothing had happened. As Tang Ao constantly fought with Long Junliang, the golden light on the battle sage bone constantly became resplendent. At that moment, Tang Ao's bones became resplendent with golden light, and under such changes, the battle sage bone's aura slowly rose. Although the battle sage bone life soul was still at the 23rd firmament, its strength was already infinitely close to the 24th firmament. According to this trend, it wouldn't take long for the battle sage bone life soul to advance to the 24th firmament life soul in battle. Tang Ao knew that his life soul could advance to the 24th firmament life soul. As for the changes in the battle's sage bone life soul, Tang Ao was naturally aware of it. Seeing that the battle sage bone life soul was showing signs of advancing, Tang Ao was ecstatic. The battle sage bone life soul was of great help to Tang Ao. Tang Ao originally believed that the battle sage bone life soul wouldn't be able to advance in the short term. But he never expected that after fighting with an idiot like Long Junliang for so long, the battle sage bone life soul actually showed signs of advancing. With this in mind, Tang Ao couldn't help but look at Long Junliang with a hint of appreciation in his eyes. This expression was, "Long Junliang, although you are an idiot, you are a useful idiot. Just this alone is enough for you to be proud of." Long Junliang, who was fighting Tang Ao, naturally captured the changes in his expression. At that moment, although Tang Ao had been suppressed by him, Long Junliang became more and more flustered. This was because after fighting for so long, Long Junliang realized that although he always had the advantage, Tang Ao had never shown any signs of defeat. This left Long Junliang unable to understand. Furthermore, the dragon might that Long Junliang was proud of didn't seem to be working on Ao. Since the start of the battle, Long Junliang had used his five-clawed Golden Dragon Life Soul to inject more than 10 streams of dragon might into Tang Ao's body. However, Tang Ao is completely fine under these 10 streams of dragon's might. At Tang Ao Din's battle, Sage Dragon Soul, Tang Ao Dragon, Beneath the battle between Tang Ao and company, there was an uproar. These disciples of small sects had never seen a youthful and energetic girl like Xia Hanxian before. At this moment, when Xia Hanxian appeared, everyone's gazes were attracted to her, and they all looked at her. Seeing everyone staring at her, Xia Hanxian tilted her head and thought for a moment before asking, "Why are all of you staring at me? Have you never seen a beauty before like senior brother Tang Ao?" Originally, Xia Hanxian only knew how to say the first sentence, but after talking with Tang Ao for a while, she learned the bad habit. Therefore, she didn't think much about it and said the second sentence. When the crowd heard Xia Hanxuan's words, they wanted to tease this adorable girl. Therefore, everyone nodded. Little girl is right. We have indeed never seen a beauty before. Chapter 359. That won't do. Junior sister, you still have a fight with me. Niu Chongtian. At that moment, Niu Chongtian wiped the blood from his nose. He had also recovered from the shock of seeing Xia Hanxian. After Niu Chongtian said that, the crowd immediately jeered. That's right, that's right. Junior sister, you made a bet with Senior Niu Chongtian. You can't just leave like that. Senior Niu Chongtian, you can take your time in the fight with this junior sister. Because the difference between them and Xia Hanxian was too great, they didn't know her cultivation level. Xia Hanxian had a treasure on her, but her cultivation level was only at the first level of the origin martial realm. Senior Niu Chongtian, this junior sister has soft skin. You have to be careful. Don't hurt her. Just take care of her clothes, said a wretched-looking youth. Senior Niu Chongtian. While the crowd was joking, Xia Hanxian and Niu Chongtian were also surrounded by the crowd. Xia Hanxian was very happy to hear everyone's concern for her. She blinked her beautiful big eyes and said to the crowd, "Thank you for your concern." One of the surrounding disciples saw that Xia Hanxian was actually so innocent and cute. He couldn't bear to see Xia Hanxian being hurt by these animals. He immediately shouted, "No, I can't watch you animals bully such a cute junior sister. I'm going to take her away." "Brat, try saying that again. What are you talking about? Beat him up." When Tang Ao and Long Junyang's battle was in full swing, they suddenly heard a commotion coming from below. Tang Ao looked out of the corner of his eyes and discovered that Xia Hanxian, who was supposed to be watching the battle from the sidelines and waiting for an opportunity to launch a sneak attack on Long Junliang, had actually run down to the ground. Tang Ao secretly cursed that girl for being unreliable. He had created many opportunities for Xia Hanxian to attack, but she didn't. Just as Tang Ao was feeling strange, he saw Xia Hanxian run down and fool around with a group of disciples from other sections. However, at that moment, Tang Ao was in a good mood. In the constant battle with Long Junliang, the battle Saint Bone Life Soul's advancement was becoming more and more intense. Tang Ao had a premonition that it wouldn't take long for the battle Saint Bone Life Soul to advance. While Tang Ao was fighting Long Junliang to his heart's content, Yin Shengfeng was fighting He Jiao and the others to his heart's content. Yin Shengfeng's strongest life spirit was the 8-armed golden body of the 29th layer of heaven. This life soul was similar to Tang Ao's battle Sagebone life soul. They were both good at close combat. However, right then, Yin Shengfeng was being held back by the Black Flood Dragon, while the remaining 3 Sea of Souls realm warriors kept attacking him with all kinds of weird attacks, causing Yin Shengfeng to only be able to use 80% of his power. On the other side, Tang Ao was getting more and more courageous under the temptation of his life soul's advancement. His original 100% power was gradually reduced to 120%. While fighting He Jiao and the others, Yin Shengfeng also turned to look at Tang Ao. After seeing Tang Ao and Long Junliang's heated battle, Yin Shengfeng really wanted to switch opponents with Tang Ao. However, Yin Shengfeng could only think like that. Right now, he was being held back by He Jiao and the others. With the 8-armed golden body life soul, although he was in an invincible position, he couldn't drag down these 4 people. After Tang Ao threw out a punch, Long Junliang also threw out a punch. Pong! With an explosive sound, Tang Ao and Yin Xingfeng were both sent flying. Chapter 360. As Tang Ao retreated, he looked at the 3 silver arrows that Long Junliang had shot at him. He cursed. "You little loach, you're too despicable. I fought you one-on-one openly, but you actually tried to plot against your grandpa Tang Ao. How did your father teach you? Or have you never been educated by your father since you were young?" Tang Ao's words happened to hit Long Junliang's sore spot. He was the illegitimate son of the current Dragon Emperor. His identity had been kept a secret since he was young. Although his identity was kept a secret, as his nominal father, the Blackwater Mystical Flood Dragon Clan's patriarch, knew about it. Because of this matter, it was already good enough that the Blackwater Mystical Flood Dragon Clan's patriarch didn't kill him. He even educated him. When Tang Ao saw Long Junliang's breathing turn chaotic after hearing his words, he was delighted. It was actually effective. Then, don't blame Daddy Tang Ao for not standing on ceremony. Little Loach, although you haven't experienced fatherly love and care since you were young, you haven't forgotten it even now. Quickly stop. I'll let you experience fatherly love. Scoundrel Tang Ao, I'll kill you. Immediately, Long Junliang's aura changed as he transformed into his original form, a ferocious and terrifying Blackwater mystical flood dragon. However, unlike ordinary Blackwater mystical flood dragons, Long Junliang had a pair of dragon horns on his head. Upon seeing this scene, Tang Ao was amused. "Little Loach, I was only saying it in passing. When I saw you summon the 5-clawed golden dragon life soul, I thought I had made a mistake. I never expected you to really be a little Loach. Quickly retreat. This senior can subdue dragons and tame tigers. I will never kill weaklings like you." Tang Ao used his battle Saint Bone to escape, and he kept talking nonstop. This time, Tang Ao didn't shatter the 3 silver arrows. Instead, he fled with the 3 silver arrows that had locked onto his aura. Tang Ao dodged and dodged in front of him, and the 3 silver arrows followed closely behind Tang Ao, changing directions as Tang Ao moved. At the very back, the Blackwater mysterious dragon that Long Junliang had transformed into also stared at Tang Ao with bloodshot eyes, as if it wanted to swallow Tang Ao whole. Long Junliang's transformation caused a commotion among the onlookers. Heavens! That fellow fighting senior brother Tang Ao is actually a member of the Yao clan. Look at his black body. Could he be a member of the powerful Black Dragon race? This guy doesn't look like one. He's most likely from the legendary Black Snake clan. Bullshit. Have you ever seen a black snake with legs? On the ground, Xiao Hanxian, who was confronting Niu Chongtian, raised her delicate little face and looked in the direction of Tang Ao. When she saw Tang Ao running around with Long Junliang, Xiao Hanxian excitedly raised her little fist and said, "Senior brother Tang Ao, you can do it. Play with it like this. Let know how powerful you are. I'm optimistic about you." When Tang Ao heard Xiao Hanxian's words, he almost fell from the sky. Am I toying with him? I'm being chased by him. I'm jumping up and down and running in all directions. Moreover, you're not coming up to help me. What's the meaning of helping me attract his aggro? As Tang Ao cursed Xiao Hanxian in his heart, he dodged Long Junliang's attacks from behind. "Little Loach, stop. Daddy can't run anymore." Tang Ao quickly completed a turn in the air and rushed towards Long Junliang. At the same time, the 3 silver arrows shot by Long Junliang instantly followed after Tang Ao. However, Long Junliang did not notice this. After transforming into a Blackwater mysterious dragon, Long Junliang only wanted to quickly get close to Tang Ao and slap Tang Ao to death. Chapter 361. Little Loach, you have no respect for your elders. This is how you talk to your father at home. As Tang Ao stimulated the battle Sagebone Life Soul, he infuriated Long Junliang. In a battle between warriors, the number 1 taboo was not to be infuriated by one's opponent. This was because warriors would lose their rationality when they were enraged. After losing their rationality, it was inevitable that they would make some wrong judgments and ignore many disadvantageous factors. Seeing Long Junliang's angry look, Tang Ao felt even more satisfied with his scolding. Little Loach, let me tell you, it's very dangerous to not have a good family education. It's not conducive to your growth in life. Why don't we stop fighting? Let's both stop now and find a place to sit down. Your grandpa Tang Ao will teach you a lesson. What do you think? Long Junliang's body trembled from Tang Ao's words. If Long Junliang was initially wary of Tang Ao's infuriating words, then he was now wholeheartedly trying to tear Tang Ao apart. Seeing Tang Ao approach him, Long Junliang's body flashed with a golden light as the five-clawed golden dragon life soul instantly attached to Long Junliang's gigantic black flood dragon body. Upon seeing Long Junliang's actions, Tang Ao was dumbfounded. There was such a method? Tang Ao originally thought that Long Junliang's five-clawed golden dragon life soul could only be used when Long Junliang was in his human form. After Long Junliang transformed back into his blackwater mystical flood dragon form, it would be useless. However, Tang Ao never expected that after Long Junliang transformed into a black flood dragon, he would be able to carry the five-clawed golden dragon life soul. Such a matter far exceeded Tang Ao's understanding. The highest life soul Tang Ao had come into contact with in his previous life was only at the 29th firmament. Tang Ao did not have a clear understanding of life souls beyond the 29th firmament. Therefore, Tang Ao never expected that Long Junliang would fuse with the five-clawed golden dragon life soul. This was because the bodies of monster beasts were stronger than those of the human race. Moreover, when monster beasts and human race fought at the same level, the strength of the monster beast was often stronger than that of the human race. Whether it was the strong physique of the monster clan or the spiritual power stored in the body of the monster clan, they were much stronger than human martial artists of the same realm. Long Junliang's cultivation was already slightly higher than Tang Ao's, and he was at the 4th level of the Seas of Souls realm, while Tang Ao was only at the 3rd level. After Long Junliang transformed into his demon form, his strength increased again, coupled with the five-clawed golden dragon life soul that was extremely compatible with him. Tang Ao was instantly in danger. Originally, Tang Ao wanted to exchange a few blows with Long Junliang, but after seeing that Long Junliang's body was shining with the same golden light as his, Tang Ao instantly gave up on the idea. Although Tang Ao had the obligation to let an idiot like Long Junliang receive compulsory education, Tang Ao was still in a hurry to return to Lu Hanxiu and Shao Kong, so Tang Ao really did not have much time to educate Long Junliang. The moment Tang Ao and Long Junliang came into contact, Tang Ao twisted his body and flashed past Long Junliang's huge body. With the support of the Battle Sage Bone Life Soul, Tang Ao's movements were extremely agile. However, after transforming into the body of the monster clan, Long Junliang's physical strength was much stronger. However, Long Junliang's agility had greatly decreased. Chapter 362. Thankfully, Long Junliang's demon body was strong to begin with. Coupled with the augmentation of a top-notch life soul like the five-clawed golden dragon life soul, Long Junliang didn't suffer much damage after taking 3 silver feather arrows. But right now, Long Junliang was so furious that he felt like his lungs were about to explode. After transforming into the Blackwater Mysterious Dragon, his strength had indeed doubled, but his speed had decreased by quite a bit, which was why he fell into Tang Ao's trap just now. Tang Ao saw that Long Junliang had been blasted by the silver arrows and was instantly delighted. Little Loach, your silver arrows don't dare to show their power in front of your grandpa Tang Ao. Tang Ao, don't run if you have the guts. Fight me fair and square. Long Junliang roared angrily. Right now, Long Junliang was fighting Tang Ao like a cannon trying to kill a mosquito. Long Junliang was full of energy, but he just couldn't hit Tang Ao, who was dodging nimbly. The more Long Junliang fought, the angrier he got, almost dying of depression. Yin Shengfeng saw Long Junliang's fighting style from the side and was greatly moved. Junior brother Tang Ao, This black water mysterious dragon is extremely strong, and its body is invulnerable. Why don't we switch opponents? Yin Chengfeng did not wait for Tang Ao to reply and charged towards Tang Ao with the black flood dragon and the other three chasing him. Tang Ao was stunned. He did not expect this Yin Chengfeng to be so strong, to be able to come up with such a bad idea. Although Yin Chengfeng used some special method to hide his strength, Tang Ao could still sense that he was a true Sea of Soul's Realm 4th level warrior. Even with his 4th level Sea of Soul's Realm cultivation, he would have a hard time dealing with the Black Flood Dragon and the other three, and he actually gave his heavy responsibility to Tang Ao. Tang Ao hesitated slightly, but still chose to face the Black Flood Dragon and the other three. Facing the transformed Long Junyang, if Tang Ao wanted to win, he would have to reveal some of his trump cards. There were too many people here. Unless it was absolutely necessary, Tang Ao was not willing to reveal his trump card. Moreover, after observing Yin Chengfeng's battle with He Jiao and the rest, Tang Ao realized that Yin Chengfeng's fighting style was indeed close combat. Furthermore, Yin Chengfeng's 8-armed Golden Body Life Soul was a match for Long Julian's 5-clawed Golden Dragon Life Soul. Yin Chengfeng even had a huge advantage in terms of speed. In this way, Yin Chengfeng would definitely be able to suppress Long Juliang, while Tang Ao would only need to delay He Jiao and the other three. Once Yin Chengfeng and Long Juliang's battle ended, this matter would come to an end. Seeing that Tang Ao had suddenly given up on the Black Water Mysterious Dragon and changed his opponent with Yin Chengfeng, the spectators started discussing amongst themselves. Why did senior apprentice brother Tang Ao and senior apprentice brother Yin Chengfeng switch opponents? There's an 80% chance that senior brother Tang Ao doesn't think that Black Water Mysterious Dragon is a challenge. That's a Spirit Ocean Realm Black Water Mysterious Dragon. Its body is full of treasures. Why don't we help senior brother Yin Chengfeng kill it? Wow, that's a good idea. It's just that the Black Water Mysterious Dragon is flying too high. We can't reach that height. That is indeed a problem. Why don't we use martial skills down there to take down that Black Water Mysterious Dragon? This senior apprentice brother is right. Watch my spiral missile. Chapter 363. Just as Yin Chengfeng and Long Junliang were battling, a magnificent martial technique suddenly shot towards Long Junliang, covering the sky and covering the earth. Seeing this scene, Yin Chengfeng was stunned for a while, then reacted quickly. This is everyone's love for me. Just now, when that brat Tang Ao was fighting with Long Junliang for so long, no one helped out. But now that I've made a move, everyone is helping out immediately. Yin Chengfeng was so touched that his eyes were brimming with tears, and he turned around to look at the crowd. Everyone was focused on the battle between Yin Chengfeng and Long Junliang. So when Yin Chengfeng looked down, everyone saw it immediately as well. Why is Senior Yin Chengfeng crying? You don't even know? Senior Yin Chengfeng is afraid that we will fight with him over the Black Water Mysterious Dragon's materials. So he's crying. If that's the case, I think we shouldn't fight with Senior Yin Chengfeng. Junior Martial Brother, you're in the wrong. Everything in the Emperor Ming secret realm is ownerless. Who knows if this Black Water Mysterious Dragon is an outsider or something from the Emperor Ming's secret realm. Treasures, everyone who sees it gets a share. Senior Brother is right. After we defeat this Black Water Mysterious Jiao, the materials on its body will belong to everyone. I want the dragon horn. Don't fight with me. I'll kill anyone who tries to snatch it. Hearing this, a skinny cultivator who was as thin as a match immediately said, Senior brothers and senior sisters, I want the dragon's penis. Please give me some face. After Long Junyang and Yin Chengfeng faced off, Tang Ao and the Black Flood Dragon also stood up. With the previous experience, when facing the four again, Tang Ao kept an eye on the 3 second-level Sea of Soul's Realm warriors who could use the binding dragon chains. Tang Ao had already experienced the power of the binding dragon chains. Earlier, when Tang Ao was trapped by the chains, if it wasn't for Xiao Han Xian helping Tang Ao, Tang Ao would have been severely wounded by Long Junliang. Thinking of Xia Hanxian, Tang Ao looked down and discovered that Xia Hanxian was still messing around with the Origin Realm martial artists. Right then, Tang Ao panicked. Xia Hanxian was a third-level Seas of Souls realm warrior. With her help, the battle with Long Junliang and the rest might have already been over. But now, this girl was messing around with a group of Yuan martial realm warriors. No, senior brother Igu isn't here. I have to teach her a good lesson. Hence, after Tang Ao forced the Black Flood Dragon back with one move, he flew towards Xia Hanxian and the others. Tang Ao's body flashed with golden light, and he flew far away in an instant. However, He Jiao and the other three were not slow at all. They chased after him closely. On the ground below, Xia Hanxian and Niu Chongtian were surrounded by the crowd, ready to watch the battle. Of course, the most important thing was to admire Xia Hanxuan's graceful figure while watching the intense battle between the two. However, what made the crowd feel helpless was that Niu Chongtian had already been demonstrating his moves for an hour, but he still did not make contact with Xia Hanxian. Niu Chongtian took 2 steps to the right and suddenly shook both of his arms. He then lifted up one of his knees and yelled, "White crane wings." Then, Niu Chongtian started to walk around Xia Hanxian. As he walked, he took a step forward with his right leg, and his body leaned forward. His left hand formed into a claw and suddenly attacked. Black Tiger Steel's Heart. Niu Chongtian's fresh fighting style had also attracted a lot of discussion from the crowd. Everyone looked at Niu Chongtian with different expressions. What is junior brother Niu Chongtian doing? Chapter 364. Sigh. I was also at the first level of the Origin martial realm. Now that the world has changed, I don't understand the fighting style of the first level of the Origin martial realm. Senior, you're right. Even when we were at the first level of the Origin martial realm, it wasn't so troublesome to fight. Why is Xia Hanxian sitting down? She should be adjusting her condition. After all, they are both at the first level of the Origin martial realm. They should be evenly matched. Xia Hanxian sat on a stone stage and silently watched Niu Chongtian's performance. After watching for a while, Xia Hanxian felt that the battle was too boring. So, Xia Hanxian stood up, patted the dust off her body, and walked towards Niu Chongtian with a smile. When Niu Chongtian saw Xia Hanxian strutting towards him, he panicked. "Junior sister Xia Hanxian, I've already executed 36 sets of the Subduing Dragon and Crouching Tiger Fists. It's not too late for you to surrender now." When Tang Ao, who was approaching, heard Niu Chongtian's words, he almost fell to the ground. How could there be such a shameless person in this world? However, in the battle below, Xia Hanxian looked around cautiously. After confirming that there was nothing out of the ordinary, she threw a punch at Niu Chongtian's face. When Niu Chongtian saw Xia Hanxuan's fist coming toward his face, he quickly moved his face forward. "Bastard, you let Junior Xia Hanxian hit you on purpose. You clearly want to take advantage of her. Niu Chongtian, how dare you? Watch how I'll take care of you." When the crowd saw this, they started cursing. However, what happened next stunned everyone. Before Xia Hanxuan's fist could land on Niu Chongtian's face, and before Niu Chongtian could retract his expression of enjoyment, Niu Chongtian was kicked away by Tang Ao. "Good boy. You're only at the first level of the Origin martial realm, and you're not learning how to adjust your condition." After Tang Ao said this, he held Xia Hanxuan's waist with one hand, and then flashed to the side under everyone's surprised eyes. After Tang Ao and Xia Hanxian dodged, Black Flood Dragon and the others blasted a pitch-black crater into the spot where they had been standing. When the group of cultivators who were attacking Long Junliang in midair saw He Jiao and the other three fall to the ground, they were overjoyed. With a roar, they sent various colorful martial techniques towards He Jiao and the other three. Before Black Flood Dragon and the other three could come back to their senses, they had already suffered tons of damage. These 4 guys are also black water mysterious dragons. Kill them and take the materials. Hey, take it easy. Don't break it. Who knows if the black water mysterious dragon's meat is delicious or not. Their dragon whips are all mine. I'll kill whoever dares to snatch them from me." As Tang Ao listened to these refreshing words, his heart couldn't calm down for a long time. This netherworld emperor mystic realm was truly a place that could drive people crazy. In the black-yellow continent, it was not uncommon for ants to bite an elephant to death. Therefore, He Jiao and the other three could only complain when they saw the surrounding cultivators inflicting tons of damage on them. Just now, the four of them were enjoying themselves when they fought against Tang Ao alone. However, now that they were surrounded by thousands of cultivators, they instantly knew that they were wrong. Chapter 365. What was that sound just now? There seems to be a demonic beast roaring. I know. It must be a powerful demonic beast being surrounded by the cultivators of the big sections. Let's go take a look. Of course. Let's go. Things like splitting the demonic beast materials has always been first come, first served. The faster we get it, the slower we get it. Junior brother is right. Let's go. We can't return empty-handed after coming to the Emperor Netherworld's secret realm. Immediately, more and more cultivators gathered towards Tang Ao and the others. Tang Ao was also secretly shocked at how much these people yearned for the demonic beast materials. Although the materials on the Blackwater Mysterious Dragon's body were not bad, the three Blackwater Mysterious Dragons could transform, and they were all above the Spirit Sea realm. And the cultivators attacking the Blackwater Mysterious Dragons were basically all at the Origin Martial realm. However, there were too many cultivators gathered here. No matter how powerful the Blackwater Mysterious Dragons were, they couldn't use their full strength. Seeing this, Tang Ao somewhat understood why Dongxinyi ran back then. Although there weren't as many people chasing Dongxinyi back then, Dongxinyi was only at the second level of the Spirit Sea realm. Senior Tang Ao, why are you here? Can you lend me your Battle, Saint Bone Life Spirit, and Jade Bone Life Spirit to play with? I want to beat them up. Xiao Hanxian waved her fist in front of Tang Ao and said excitedly, Junior Xiao Hanxian, bullying the few with numbers is not right. Let's leave while we have nothing to do here. Seeing Long Junliang being held up by Yin Qingfeng and the Black Flood Dragon and the others being suppressed by more and more cultivators, Tang Ao wanted to run. Senior Tang Ao, but Senior Lu Qingfeng is still fighting. Isn't it a bit inappropriate for us to leave now? Xiao Hanxian felt that since Yin Qingfeng was still fighting Long Junliang, she and Tang Ao should go help him. But now, Tang Ao wanted to run away with her. How can that be? Junior apprentice sister Hanxian. Look at how happy senior apprentice brother Yin Qingfeng is. He's so excited that his eyes are brimming with tears. Tang Ao looked up and saw Yin Qingfeng's tearful face as he hurriedly said to Xiao Hanxian, "But why do I feel that senior brother Yin Qingfeng was beaten to tears by the Long Junliang?" Without waiting for Xiao Hanxian to finish, Tang Ao hurriedly gestured for her to keep quiet. Yin Qingfeng, taking the initiative to help him block Long Junliang, was already very generous. Hence Tang Ao did not want to tarnish Yin Qingfeng's name. Junior sister Xiao Hanxian, as you can see, there's nothing fun here. I'll take you to a place. There are two big sisters there. When the three of you are together, it'll be a lot more fun. Tang Ao saw that Xiao Hanxian was very obedient, so he continued to guide her patiently. Oh, does senior brother Tang Ao have two companions? Let me think. 7 Kills sect. Is it sister Luo Tsai? Xiao Hanxian did not have a deep impression of the 7 Kills sect. Other than Tang Ao, Xiao Hanxian only remembered Luo Tsai. After hearing Luo Tsai's name, Tang Ao's body trembled. He had been here for a long time, but Tang Ao still had no news of Luo Tsai. Hearing Xiao Hanxian mention Luo Tsai, Tang Ao started to worry again. Where are you now? Tang Ao asked in his heart. Junior apprentice sister Xiao Hanxian. We have to leave now while they haven't noticed us. Otherwise, when they come back to their senses, it won't be easy for us to leave. Even though Tang Ao was in a hurry to leave, Tang Ao still looked at the cloud sky wheel that was suspended in mid-air with a deeper meaning. At this moment, there was no one guarding the cloud sky wheel. There was only a moon-howling heavenly wolf race youth tied to it. Tang Ao hesitated for a while. In the end, he did not take the risk to snatch the cloud sky wheel. A treasure of this level was not something that could be easily refined. If Tang Ao tried to snatch the cloud sky wheel now, it would attract the attention of Long Junliang and the others. Hence, 7 jade green lotus sword souls appeared around Tang Ao's body. Chapter 366. Tang Ao's 7-petaled green lotuses interweaved in the air, creating 7 gorgeous lights. These 7 gorgeous lights transformed into 7 green lotus-treasured swords in the air, emitting a cold light. Tang Ao extended his right hand and pressed down. The 7 green lotus swords instantly slashed at the chains that bound the moon-howling heavenly wolf clan's youth. Although the chains that bound the moon-howling heavenly wolf clan's youth were not ordinary, after Tang Ao's green lotus sword soul had advanced to the 21st level, its power was not to be underestimated. Ding, ding, ding. A few crisp sounds rang out, and several of the chains binding the moon-howling heavenly wolf clan youth's body broke. These chains had a special restraining effect on the moon-howling heavenly wolf clan. Under the restraint of the chains, the moon-howling heavenly wolf clan's youth's spirit power was suppressed. After a few chains were broken, the youth's spirit power instantly broke through the restraints. Tang Ao originally wanted to run away with Xia Hanxian, but just as Tang Ao was about to run, Tang Ao noticed Igu, who was rushing over. It seemed that Igu really cared about this junior sister. In just a short time, Igu had finished his business and returned. Tang Ao was secretly surprised. Just now, Igu had said that he had something important to do and had to go. Since a martial artist like Igu had to go personally, it shouldn't be easy. However, in less than 2 hours, Igu had actually finished his business and returned. If Igu wasn't too capable, then something must have gone wrong. Immediately, Tang Ao asked Xia Hanxian, junior sister Hanxian, do you know what senior brother Igu went to do? At this moment, Igu hadn't arrived yet, so Tang Ao couldn't ask Igu about it. However, Xia Hanxian covered her mouth and said, "Oh, my master said that I can't tell outsiders about the sect, so I don't know if senior brother Igu went to find the spirit immortal grass in the Netherworld Emperor's secret realm. However, if senior brother Tang Ao can let me play with the Battle Sage Bone Life Soul, I can also tell senior brother Tang Ao." After listening to Xia Hanchuan's words, Tang Ao finally understood why Igu had returned so quickly. It turned out that he had gone to look for the spiritual immortal grass. There was a stalk of spiritual immortal herb nearby. However, this stalk of spiritual immortal herb had probably been refined by Lu Hanxiu a long time ago. Spirit immortal grass could allow Origin Realm disciples to increase their cultivation speed from the Origin Realm to the Sea of Spirit Realm without affecting their foundation. The Overlord sect wanted the spiritual immortal grass. It seemed like the Overlord sect had a disciple with extraordinary talent. Hence, the Overlord sect wanted to snatch the spiritual immortal grass to nurture this disciple. Hence, Tang Ao immediately asked, "Junior sister Hanxian, does your Overlord sect have a particularly talented junior brother or junior sister?" Although the Overlord sect's talented disciple had nothing to do with Tang Ao still wanted to verify his guess. "Senior brother Tang Ao, do you know about our Overlord sect's junior sister Luo Kaiwei?" Xia Hanxian said without hesitation. After saying it, she was secretly wondering how Tang Ao knew that the Overlord sect had a talented junior sister half a year ago. Speaking of this junior sister, Xia Hanxian was inwardly proud. In the history of the profound Yellow Continent, she was the only one who was able to connect with the fate spirit of the 36 heavens the first time she entered the Great Thousand World. And now, she had her own junior sister. Therefore, Xia Hanxian was very happy. Chapter 367. Tang Ao quickly changed the topic. "Junior sister Xia Hanxian, look at that moon-howling heavenly wolf youth. He seems to be breaking free from the chains. If he was trying to fool other people, Tang Ao would have to think carefully. However, when it came to fooling Xia Hanxian, Tang Ao could easily make her lose her bearings. As expected, after Tang Ao finished speaking, Xia Hanxian immediately looked towards the cloud wheel. After Tang Ao used the green lotus sword soul to cut off a few chains, Silver Moon's hands instantly turned into two sharp wolf claws. With two ding-ding sounds, Silver Moon used her steel-like and abnormally sharp wolf claws to cut off all the chains binding her body. Then, Silver Moon gave Tang Ao a grateful look and immediately transformed into a moon-howling heavenly wolf, pouncing towards Long Junliang. At this moment, Long Junliang and Yin Xingfeng were exhausted from the fight. When he felt a gust of wind coming from behind, he couldn't even dodge. Silver Moon's wolf claws immediately left 3 claw marks on Long Junliang's huge body. Silver Moon's claw marks were extremely deep, and Long Junliang instantly let out a heart-wrenching scream. Along the way, Long Junliang had abused Silver Moon many times. Hence, now that Silver Moon had escaped with Tang Ao's help, she immediately prepared to take revenge. Thinking about how Long Junliang had kicked her head so many times, Silver Moon hardened her heart and fiercely clawed at Long Junliang. Long Junliang instantly let out another scream like a pig being slaughtered. Along with this scream, Long Junliang's body also flickered and then turned back into human form. After turning back into human form, Long Junliang still looked extremely wretched. His handsome face had been beaten black and blue by Yin Xingfeng's 8-armed golden body life spirit. There were also 6 bloody wounds on his abdomen, obviously caused by Silver Moon's sharp wolf claws. At this moment, Long Junliang raised his head and saw Yi Gu rushing over from the horizon with an ugly expression. Yi Gu, on the other hand, was in a very bad mood. He had just gone to the place where the spiritual immortal grass was rumored to be. Yi Gu had also used the sect's spirit weapon to confirm that the spiritual immortal grass had been there before. But what made Yi Gu angry was that the spirit immortal grass had already been taken by someone else. Yi Gu had been observing the surroundings of the spiritual immortal herb for a long time and realized that it had not been long since the spiritual immortal herb was taken. In other words, if Long Junliang had not been here to mess things up, he and his junior sister would have already collected the spiritual immortal herb. Yi Gu wasn't interested in the various treasures in the underworld emperor's mystic realm. Yi Gu's purpose of sending his junior brothers and sisters away was to have some fun with junior sister Xia Hanxian. When Tang Ao saw Yi Gu, he flew up with Xia Hanxian. When Xia Hanxian saw Yi Gu, she happily asked, "Senior brother Yi Gu, you finished the task so quickly? Did you bring me anything delicious?" Tang Ao naturally knew that it was impossible for Yi Gu to complete the task, because the spiritual immortal herb that Yi Gu was looking for had already been given to Lu Hanxiu. At this moment, Lu Hanxiu might have already refined all the medicinal powers of the spiritual immortal herb. It was impossible for Yi Gu to find the spiritual immortal herb, unless there was a second spiritual immortal herb in the underworld emperor's mystic realm. But Tang Ao felt that the possibility was not high. When Tang Ao saw Yi Gu, he asked, "Senior brother Yi Gu, did everything go well?" Chapter 368. Tang Ao inwardly felt that this overlord sect disciple was truly a genius to be able to come up with such an excuse. Hearing Yi Gu's words, Xia Hanxian was also fuming. She immediately took out the rainbow plume from her storage ring. Black lines appeared on Tang Ao's forehead as he looked at it. This was a heaven-defying item that could even kill life and death realm cultivators. Yet this last took it out so casually. Tang Ao hurriedly persuaded, "Junior sister Xia Hanxian, you must calm down. First, keep the rainbow plume. Your big brother Tang Ao will personally take action and let this little loach Long Junliang receive some compulsory education." Hearing Tang Ao's persuasion, Xia Hanxian reluctantly kept the rainbow plume. In Xia Hanchuan's opinion, this was a problem that could be solved with a single rainbow plume. Yet Tang Ao's group insisted on wasting so much time. It was simply too boring. Tang Ao had been shot by Long Junliang for no reason, so he naturally did not have a good attitude towards Long Junliang. Now that he saw Long Junliang being blocked by Yin Chengfeng and Yi Gu, he did not even think twice before joining the battle. This kind of situation where a dog was down in the water was rarely seen. Long Junliang's group was used to being arrogant and domineering in the underworld Emperor's secret realm. God knows how many cultivators have been killed by them for no reason. Although Long Junliang was arrogant and domineering, he was an idiot. Seeing Yi Gu and Yin Chengfeng attacking him together, Long Junliang waved his hand and the Wheel of Cloud appeared beneath him. In the middle of the Wheel of Cloud was a three-edged silver ring with three smaller rings with the words Sun, Moon, and Stars. Standing on the Wheel of Cloud, Long Junliang looked at the approaching Tang Ao and Yin Chengfeng with a cold sneer. With a flash of his feet, he appeared below them. Tang Ao was inwardly shocked at the speed of the Wheel of Cloud. The speed of the Wheel of Cloud was extremely terrifying. None of the people present could catch up to it. It could be said that with the Wheel of Cloud in hand, Long Junliang was already invincible in the Netherworld Emperor's secret realm. Even if he met an opponent he couldn't defeat, Long Junliang could still use the Wheel of Cloud to escape. After Long Junliang flew down, the Wheel of Cloud beneath his feet flashed with a white light and became incomparably huge. Following that, He Jiao and the other three also transformed into their human forms and jumped onto the Wheel of Cloud. Controlling the Wheel of Cloud, Long Junliang continued to rise higher and higher, arriving in front of Tang Ao and the others. Tang Ao, today you guys bullied me with numbers. When you come to Japan, I will definitely pay you back. Upon hearing this, Tang Ao immediately grinned and said, "You little loach, let's not talk about how 5 of you were fighting me alone. Now that you're no match for senior apprentice brother Yin Chengfeng, you're acting like a turtle. If you have the ability, then don't stand on that broken wheel. Come down, your grandpa Tang Ao will fight you one-on-one for 300 rounds. I'll let you see Grandpa Tang Ao's methods." Tang Ao, we will meet again sooner or later. When that time comes, it will be your death. As Long Junliang spoke, he didn't notice the 7 green lotus sword souls shooting towards him from behind. Only when the green lotus sword souls got close did Long Junliang realize something. With a twist of his body, Long Junliang dodged the 7 green lotus sword souls. However, the quiver of silver feather arrows on his back was picked up by the green lotus sword souls and flew into Tang Ao's hands. Chapter 369. Hee, you half-dragon, half-snake little loach, if you want it, come and get it yourself. What's the point of talking so much? Tang Ao did not want to let Long Junliang escape. Long Junliang could kill him with a silver feather arrow for no reason, so it would be the same for the others. Tang Ao had the battle Saint Bone Life spirit and was unharmed by the silver feather arrow, but the other warriors would not have it so easy. Therefore, if they could kill Long Junliang here, Tang Ao and the rest would be getting rid of a threat for the human forces in the Underworld Emperor's secret realm. Long Junliang and the Black Flood Dragon were both at the 4th level of the Sea of Souls realm, and the 3 warriors under him were also at the 2nd level. With such a force, other than Tang Ao and the rest, the others would not be able to handle it easily. As Tang Ao was pondering, Silver Moon of the Moon howling heavenly wolf race roared and pounced toward Long Junliang. Tang Ao shook his head. Although this Silver Moon was a hot-blooded young man that Tang Ao admired a lot, he was too impatient. Now is not the best time to attack Long Junliang. As long as Yi Gu and Yin Chengfeng were in position, Tang Ao and the other 2 would attack together. At that time, even if Long Junliang had the Wheel of Cloud, he would not be able to escape. However, now that Silver Moon had alerted Long Junliang, it would be impossible for Tang Ao and the other 2 to sneak up on him. Although that was the case, Tang Ao still wanted to disgust Long Junliang. Therefore, a golden light flashed on Tang Ao's body, and the battle's Saint Bone Life spirit instantly appeared. On the Wheel of Cloud, The Black Flood Dragon saw that the young master was in a panic, so he hurriedly whispered something in Long Junliang's ear. After hearing the Black Flood Dragon's words, Long Junliang nodded at Tang Ao and the rest with a sinister smile. Then, he controlled the Wheel of Cloud to escape. As soon as Long Junliang escaped, Yin Xingfeng immediately used the 8-armed golden body life spirit to slap at Long Junliang and the rest. However, the Wheel of Cloud Sky was simply too fast. Even though Yin Xingfeng had made a move in advance, he was still unable to hit the Wheel of Cloud Sky. Following Yin Xingfeng, Igu also controlled the south-parting ancient bell and slammed it against the Wheel of Cloud Sky, but it hit nothing but air. After consecutively avoiding Yin Xingfeng and Igu's attacks, Long Junliang was in a good mood. Igu, Yin Xingfeng, Tang Ao, you three just wait. The next time we meet, I will make you regret being born into this world. Remember. Igu's face darkened. Before Long Junliang could finish his words, he spat out a mouthful of blood, because when he said those words, his knee was shot by Tang Ao. Seeing this, Yin Xingfeng waved the folding fan in his hand and burst into laughter. Ha, this feels great. I should have shot him to death with one arrow. Igu felt it was a pity when he saw that Tang Ao only shot Long Junliang's knee. Long Junliang's group was extremely powerful. Now that Tang Ao and Yin Xingfeng were here, Long Junliang's group was no match for them. However, if Tang Ao, Yin Xingfeng, or his own group were to encounter Long Junliang, they would not be able to avoid a fierce battle. Junior brother Tang Ao, junior brother Yin Xingfeng, what do you plan to do next? Igu wanted to invite Tang Ao and Yin Xingfeng to search for the legendary Hades Emperor's inheritance together, but he was not sure if the two had a clear plan. After fighting side by side, Igu acknowledged the strength of Tang Ao and Yin Xingfeng. Moreover, the three of them had a common enemy, and the Hades Emperor's inheritance could be considered as their goal. Chapter 370. Igu was better off since he also wanted to cross the Sea of Resentment to find Emperor Hades' inheritance. However, Tang Ao had been trapped in the hurricane formation for half a month, so he wasn't well informed at all. Thus, Tang Ao didn't know that the Sea of Resentment had appeared and that Emperor Hades' inheritance was likely to be on the other side. However, Tang Ao's mental fortitude had been tempered thousands of times, so he said indifferently, I'm not interested in Emperor Hades' inheritance. Since senior apprentice brothers are interested, why don't we travel together? Hearing Tang Ao's words, Igu and Yin Xingfeng were both startled, but then they were overjoyed. They had seen Tang Ao's strength before, so it was a good thing that they didn't have a strong competitor like Tang Ao. Hence, Igu and Gu Tianyan were filled with respect for Tang Ao. They were touched by his indifference to fame and fortune, as well as his noble character. Senior apprentice brother Tang Ao, aren't you going to search for Emperor Hades' inheritance? Xia Hanxian asked in confusion. From Xia Hanchuan's point of view, everyone came to the Emperor Hades' secret realm for the inheritance. However, due to the difference in personal strength, everyone had different chances of obtaining the inheritance. She had already witnessed Tang Ao's strength and knew that he definitely had the qualifications to fight for Emperor Hades' inheritance. Junior apprentice sister Han Xian, everyone has their own ambitions. If I had a choice, I would rather go sightseeing with junior apprentice sister Han Xian than to fight for Emperor Hades' inheritance. Igu and Yin Xingfeng sensed that something was wrong when Tang Ao spoke to Xia Han Xian with affection, so they hurriedly stopped Tang Ao. Yin Xingfeng looked up at the sky and said seriously to Tang Ao, Junior apprentice brother Tang Ao, it's no longer time. Senior apprentice brother Igu and I will bring junior apprentice sister Han Xian to search for Emperor Hades' inheritance. Junior apprentice brother Tang Ao, we will meet again. Before Tang Ao could say anything, Xia Han Xian spoke up, but I'm not interested in the Underworld Emperor's inheritance either. Since senior apprentice brother Yin Xingfeng and senior apprentice brother Igu are both interested in it, why don't you two go together? Compared to Hades Thearka's inheritance, Xiao Hanxian was more interested in Tang Ao's Battle Sage Bone Life Soul and Jade Bone Vitality Life Soul. Other than that, Xiao Hanxian had already inherited the legacy of the 9-colored blue wand, so there was no need for Emperor Hades' legacy. No way, no way. Junior sister, this netherworld Emperor Mystic realm is filled with dangers. Senior brother will only feel at ease if you stay by his side. Igu naturally didn't want Xiao Hanxian to be with Tang Ao. Igu could see that Tang Ao was full of evil tricks. If his junior sister was alone with him, she might go to the 7 Kills sect with Tang Ao the moment they left the Netherworld Emperor's mystic realm. But I feel that moving alone is the safest, Xiao Hanxian said as she brought out the 7-colored plume. Seeing the 7-colored plume, Tang Ao and the other two took a step back in unison. This was a heaven-defying item that could blast a life and death realm expert into smithereens. In this Netherworld Emperor Mystic realm, the strongest cultivator could at most reach the 9th floor of Linghai Jing. It was impossible for them to reach the life and death realm. So as long as Xiao Hanxian had this 7-colored plume, she could do whatever she wanted in the Netherworld Emperor Mystic realm. Just now, Tang Ao and the other two's combined efforts were unable to stop Long Junliang. But if Xiao Hanxian used this 7-colored plume, she would definitely be able to blast Long Junliang and the others into smithereens. Senior apprentice brother Igu, do you feel that I'm not safe alone? Xiao Hanxian waved the 7-colored plume at Igu. Igu hurriedly shook his head like a rattle drum. Then, Xiao Hanxian waved the 7-colored plume at Yin Chengfeng and said in a tender voice, Senior apprentice brother Yin Chengfeng. Chapter 371. Senior brother Tang Ao, let's go. Didn't you say you wanted to bring me to a fun place? Xiao Hanxian put away the rainbow plume and said to Tang Ao with a smile. Normally in the sect, Igu was always monitoring her. He did not let her play with him, and he did not let her play with him. Since the Tyrant Emperor sect was not far from the Riding Wind sect, Yin Chengfeng often came to find her. Every time, he would tell her a story, but Xiao Hanxian didn't think it was funny at all. Tang Ao was pulled back by Xiao Hanxian, and his whole body trembled, because Tang Ao felt 2 murderous eyes staring at him from behind. Tang Ao cupped his fists at Igu and Yin Chengfeng, then left with Xiao Hanxian in a flash of golden light. After Tang Ao and Xiao Hanxian left, Igu was stunned for a while. After a long time, he sighed helplessly and flew towards the resentful ocean with Yin Chengfeng. It was good that Tang Ao took Xiao Hanxian away. There would be another fierce battle in the fight for the Underworld Emperor's inheritance. It would be safer for Tang Ao to take Xiao Hanxian away than with the two of them. Although Igu and Yin Chengfeng were confident in their own strength, those who could fight for the Underworld Emperor's inheritance were not ordinary people. With the help of the Battle Saint Bone Life Spirit, Tang Ao took Xiao Hanxian and flew towards the valley where Lu Hanxiu and Shao Kong were hiding. At this moment, Tang Ao had been away from Lu Hanxiu and Shao Kong for almost a month, so Tang Ao was very worried about their safety. In a valley, Lu Hanxiu spat out another mouthful of blood. Behind Lu Hanxiu was a golden cocoon. At this moment, Lu Hanxiu had broken through to the Sea of Souls realm with the help of the spirit Immortal Grass. However, Lu Hanxiu was only at the first level of the Seas of Souls realm, while Ma San, who was facing Lu Hanxiu, was at the second level. When Ma San and the others saw that Lu Hanxiu had been protecting the golden cocoon behind her, they were even more certain that there was a treasure in the cocoon. Therefore, they all wanted to tear the cocoon open and see what was inside. The reason why Lu Hanxiu had been protecting the golden cocoon was because Little Kong had told her that Little Kong was at a crucial point in its advancement. Once the outer layer of the cocoon was broken, it would suffer a backlash from its bloodline and die without a doubt. Therefore, Little Kong asked Lu Hanxiu to stall Ma San and the others as much as possible. When she finished her advancement, she would take Lu Hanxiu to beat up Tang Ao. Lu Hanxiu had received a huge favor from Tang Ao, and Little Kong was Tang Ao's spirit pet. Before little Kong had the power to protect herself, Lu Hanxiu would naturally not let Ma San and the others hurt her. However, the power gap between Lu Hanxiu and Ma San was way too huge. Therefore, after only a short while, Lu Hanxiu had already been wounded badly by Ma San. Ma San was also curious. Normally, Lu Hanxiu was at the first level of the Seas of Soul's realm, so she should not be that weak. However, through the battle just then, Ma San realized that Lu Hanxiu only had the power of the Seas of Soul's realm, but her battling skills and battle awareness were still at the third or fourth level of the Yuan martial realm. After thinking about that, Ma San did not take Lu Hanxiu seriously anymore. He directly gave up on defending and started to attack Lu Hanxiu without hesitation. Chapter 372. As the chilling killing intent within Tang Ao's body continued to radiate in all directions, Xiao Hanchuan's figure gradually became blurry. Tang Ao was startled, and he hurriedly sent his soul power into Xiao Hanchuan's body. As Tang Ao's soul power probed, Xiao Hanchuan's figure began to transform, before finally turning into a bright yellow scarecrow with 2 pigtails. Tang Ao grabbed the scarecrow with 2 braids, and his expression changed. This scarecrow naturally wasn't Xiao Hanxian. Instead, it was the Xiao Hanxian that had been by Tang Ao's side just now. After Tang Ao grabbed the scarecrow, Xiao Hanchuan's sweet-sounding voice rang out. Senior brother Tang Ao, thank you for helping me escape from senior brother Yigu and senior brother Yin Chengfeng. Following them isn't fun at all, so I've decided to use my own strength in the Netherworld Emperor's secret realm. Senior brother Tang Ao, please don't throw this scarecrow away. If you throw it away, I won't be able to find you. Xiao Hanchuan's voice came to an abrupt halt, while Tang Ao looked at the scarecrow in his hand with an indescribable expression. Ever since Tang Ao started cultivating, it had always been Tang Ao teasing others. Who would have thought that he would actually be teased by a little brat like Xiao Hanxian today? However, this also made Tang Ao feel that this was in line with Xiao Hanchuan's weird personality. However, Tang Ao was still secretly praising Xiao Hanchuan's brilliant methods. Even with his powerful soul power, Tang Ao couldn't sense when Xiao Hanxian had slipped away from his side. However, Tang Ao didn't have the time to think about how Xiao Hanxian had slipped away from his side, because Tang Ao was getting closer and closer to the valley where Lu Hanxiu was hiding. Although Tang Ao hadn't gone to Lu Hanxiu's side, Tang Ao knew that Lu Hanxiu was in danger. Previously, the defensive formation that Tang Ao had set up around Lu Hanxiu and Shao Kong could withstand a full force attack from a martial artist at the first level of the spiritual ocean realm. At this moment, Tang Ao could clearly feel that the defensive array he had set up before had been broken, which meant that the enemy Lu Hanxiu and Shao Kong were facing was at least at the second level of the Spirit Sea realm. If Shao Kong finished his breakthrough, Tang Ao wouldn't have to worry about a mere second-level spiritual ocean realm martial artist. However, in such a short period of time, Little Kong definitely hadn't completed his advancement. Even if Lu Hanxiu had the help of the Spirit Immortal Grass, she would at most be able to break through to the first level of the spiritual ocean realm. Thinking of this, Tang Ao hurriedly sped up. Fortunately, Tang Ao now had the support of the battle Saint Bone Life Spirit. Moreover, Tang Ao had also trained the battle Saint Bone Life Spirit to the extent that he could use it as if it was his own arm. Therefore, when Tang Ao flew at full speed, he was like a golden bolt of lightning piercing through the sky. Swish, 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 the sound of wind breaking constantly rang in Tang Ao's ears. This was the result of the high-speed friction between Tang Ao's battle, Saint Bone Life Spirit, and the surrounding air. At this moment, Tang Ao's speed was more than 10 times faster than before. However, after witnessing Long Junyang's cloud wheel, Tang Ao was no longer satisfied with this speed. Thinking of the problem of speed, Tang Ao's desire for the wind, thunder, nether cloud in the Underworld Emperor's secret realm grew even stronger. The wind, thunder, nether cloud was the legendary Underworld Emperor's mode of transportation. It was said to be able to travel 10,000 miles in an instant. If he had the wind, thunder, nether cloud, Tang Ao believed that he would have already rushed back to the valley where Lu Hanxiu and Shao Kong were hiding. Tang Ao's unbridled flying in the sky naturally attracted the dissatisfaction of the martial artists below. Chapter 373. When Tang Ao hurried back to the valley where Lu Hanxiu was, Lu Hanxiu and Shao Kong were indeed facing a great threat. When Ma San and others smashed the defensive formation set up by Tang Ao, Lu Hanxiu hadn't completely refined the power of the spiritual immortal grass. So Lu Hanxiu had been fighting with Ma San with all her strength. However, Ma San's strength was a level higher than Lu Hanxiu's, and Lu Hanxiu was not in a good state. Therefore, although the two had not fought for long, Lu Hanxiu had been beaten by Ma San to a dangerous state. If Ma San hadn't been greedy for Lu Hanxiu's beauty and hadn't killed her, and if Ma San's subordinates hadn't taken action, Lu Hanxiu would have been a corpse at this moment. Ma San launched an attack against Lu Hanxiu, but at the same time, he was admiring Lu Hanxiu's graceful figure. Lu Hanxiu was tired to resist while looking around. At this moment, Lu Hanxiu had been muttering Tang Ao's name in her heart. Because the power of the spiritual immortal grass in her body hadn't been completely refined, she had already suffered a backfire. She couldn't hold on for more than 30 breaths time. Even at this moment, she could barely hold on, because Tang Ao's spirit pet behind her was still in the process of advancing. Lu Hanxiu was not Ma San's opponent. At this moment, when Lu Hanxiu was relieved, Ma San found an opportunity and punched on Lu Hanxiu's flat belly. Poochie! Lu Hanxiu spat out a mouthful of bright red blood as if she had been hit heavily, and then flew out. Ma San's punch was powerful and heavy, and Lu Hanxiu had just broken through to the first level of Sea Spirit Realm, so her physique hadn't reached the strength of a Sea Spirit Realm warrior. As a result, Ma San's punch had actually shattered 2 of Lu Hanxiu's ribs. Suffering such heavy injuries, Lu Hanxiu kept spitting out blood from the corner of her mouth, and her internal organs were also in turmoil. If Lu Hanxiu hadn't subconsciously raised a breath of aura to protect her abdomen at the moment of Ma San's punch might have killed Lu Hanxiu in an instant. Shao Kong was extremely anxious when he sensed Lu Hanxiu's condition in the cocoon. Damn Tang Ao, where the hell are you? If you don't come, this young miss will be finished. At this moment, Little Sky's advancement was at a critical moment. If Little Sky were to tear open the crimson gold cocoon at this moment, then all his previous efforts would be in vain. Moreover, Little Sky wouldn't be able to help Lu Hanxiu even if he broke out of the cocoon. If he didn't succeed, Little Sky would only be equivalent to an Origin Martial Realm warrior's beast. Seeing Ma San walking towards her, Lu Hanxiu struggled to stand up, but Lu Hanxiu's injuries were not light. It was extremely difficult for her to even support herself to sit up, let alone stand up. After sitting up, Lu Hanxiu spat out 2 more mouthfuls of blood. At this moment, her spirit power was extremely chaotic, and she had no more power to fight. However, Lu Hanxiu still didn't want to give up. She had been through so many hardships to reach where she was today, and she couldn't fall down here. Don't move, you're very badly injured. After hearing this, Lu Hanxiu's face became happy, but then it became gloomy again, because Lu Hanxiu's eyes started to blur. When she heard the words that seemed to come from Tang Ao, Lu Hanxiu also thought that she was hallucinating. She once heard her master say that when a person was about to die, they would feel some strange things. Chapter 374. Tang Ao looked around at the crowd that was filled with ridicule and said in a cold voice, "All of you will die." The sudden appearance of Tang Ao shocked Ma San and the others. But when they felt Tang Ao's strength of the first level of the Origin Martial Realm, they all laughed. Is he crazy? First level of the Origin Martial Realm? Is he here to be funny? Piss off. I'll kill you if you disturb my fun. Brother San, don't talk nonsense with him. Kill him too. Hearing the words of the surrounding people, Tang Ao's face became even more gloomy. At that moment, Tang Ao sat on the ground and held Lu Hanxiu in his arms. Then, the jade bone life spirit surged out. Countless green light spots flew out of Tang Ao's body like dancing fairies. Then, they gently poured into Lu Hanxiu's body. Tang Ao's jade bone life spirit kept flowing in Lu Hanxiu's limbs and meridians, healing Lu Hanxiu's injuries. Under the constant nourishment of the jade bone life spirit, Lu Hanxiu's consciousness gradually began to recover. Ma Sen was surprised when he saw the jade bone life spirit flying out of Tang Ao's body. Although Ma Sen didn't know what kind of life spirit it was, he felt that it should be of a high level. Then, when he saw Lu Hanxiu's serious injuries being slowly healed by Tang Ao's life spirit, greed appeared in Ma San's eyes. Although a warrior's life spirit couldn't be transferred, Ma San could control Tang Ao and get this special life spirit by controlling Tang Ao. Boy, you offended me. I was going to beat you half to death, but I'm very interested in your life spirit. However, I'm very interested in your life soul. Why don't you follow me in the future, and I'll spare your life? With the constant nourishment from Tang Ao's jade bone life spirit, Lu Hanxiu's consciousness had also recovered. Lu Hanxiu opened her eyes and saw herself in Tang Ao's arms. Right then, Lu Hanxiu was shocked. She hurried to say to Tang Ao, "Brother Tang Ao, run. There are two warriors at the first level of the Sea of Souls realm, and that Ma San is at the second level. You run." Although Lu Hanxiu knew that Tang Ao was a warrior at the Sea of Souls realm, Lu Hanxiu thought that Tang Ao was at most at the first level of the Sea of Souls realm. So, Tang Ao was definitely no match for Ma San and the others. So when Lu Hanxiu saw herself falling in Tang Ao, she immediately asked Tang Ao to run. After Lu Hanxiu finished talking, she struggled to stand up. But her body was too weak at the moment, so it was impossible for her to do so. Don't move. Your body is very weak right now, and you've suffered from the power of the spirit plant. Tang Ao's voice was very cold. Although Tang Ao's voice was not loud, the people around him were all powerful warriors. Moreover, warriors' senses were already much stronger than normal people's. Therefore, Tang Ao's words fell into everyone's ears without missing a single word. Spiritual immortal herb. This girl actually consumed the spiritual immortal herb. Damn it, such a heavenly treasure has been wasted by a little girl. So she ate the spirit plant and forcefully broke through to the Sea of Souls realm. I was wondering why this girl was so weak. What are you talking about? What do you mean by this girl is weak? It is my brother Ma San who is too powerful. Ah, what a pity for this spirit plant. Chapter 375. Really? That's great. How about I kill this brat so that you can bleed this little girl? Tang Ao sneered. He then took off his robe and put on Lu Hanxiu. At this moment, Lu Hanxiu's thin clothes had been torn in many places during the battle just now. As a result, a large portion of Lu Hanxiu's snow-white skin was exposed. But Tang Ao was in the mood to appreciate such a beautiful scene. With a thought from Tang Ao, the J-Bone life spirit was divided into two parts. One continued to nourish Lu Hanxiu's injured body, and the other flew to the golden cocoon to speed up Little Kong's advancement. At that moment, Little Kong's advancement had reached the final stage. Tang Ao could already use external forces to provide some help to Little Kong. Tang Ao, you came back fast. If something happened to Lu Hanxiu, I'll bite you to death. After Tang Ao covered the golden cocoon with the jade bone life spirit, Little Kong's childish and clear baby voice came out. Hearing Little Kong's voice, Tang Ao was stunned, but he quickly came back to his senses. Ma Sen saw that Tang Ao didn't seem to want to follow him, so he sneered and said to his subordinates, "Everyone, let's go together and kill this brat. I'll hold the line for you. Don't be afraid." After saying that, Ma Sen sat up on a huge rock that was half the height of a person. Ma Sen originally wanted to kill Tang Ao himself, but after seeing Tang Ao's jade bone life spirit, Ma Sen felt that Tang Ao was a bit strange. In terms of cultivation, Ma San's talent in martial Dao was not considered outstanding. However, the reason why Ma San could have his current achievements was because he was very cautious. Even when facing Tang Ao, a martial artist at the first level of the Origin Realm, Ma San was still very cautious. After hearing Ma San's words, Ma San's men rushed toward Tang Ao without thinking. It was only a brat at the first level of the Origin Realm. Any random person here could beat Tang Ao. That was what everyone was thinking in their hearts. Looking at the crowd charging at him from all directions, Tang Ao sighed helplessly. This number of people was not enough to fight him at all. As everyone charged at Tang Ao with all sorts of weapons in their hands, Tang Ao's aura changed. Then, the battle sage bone life soul surged out, and a surging battle intent swept out in all directions. Everyone around him was forced to retreat continuously. Some of the smaller rocks were even blasted away by Tang Ao's powerful aura. After this powerful aura exploded, Tang Ao's aura instantly rose to the third level of the Spirit Sea realm. Feeling the sudden burst of power from Tang Ao, the people who were clamoring just now were instantly dumbfounded. They couldn't help but back off. After entering the underworld Emperor's secret realm, they followed Ma San without any scruples. They dared to do anything, including killing and burning. However, at this moment, under Tang Ao's powerful aura, these ruthless wolves unnaturally felt a sense of fear in their hearts. The battle sage bone life soul continued to release a bright golden light on Tang Ao's body. A golden rune array also spread out from under Tang Ao's feet in all directions. In an instant, everyone was enveloped in the array. After activating the golden array, Tang Ao's eyes turned cold, and he coldly yelled, "Battle Heavenly Dipper!" Boom, as Tang Ao's voice faded. Everyone was immediately blown away with blood spurting out of their mouths. Instantly, sand and stones were sent flying, and the surrounding trees were shaken into pieces. A golden wave of chi swept out in all directions with Tang Ao as the center. Chapter 376. Some of the boulders that stood in the way of the golden airwave were shattered into pieces by the shockwave. Then, the golden chi wave released by Tang Ao didn't lose its power and went far away. Under Tang Ao's attack, all the villains under Ma San's hands stopped moving. All the villains under Ma San were motionless. When a breeze blew over, these people were all turned into powder on the ground. Battle Dipper was a martial skill that Tang Ao learned after awakening the Battle Saint Bone. But before, Tang Ao's opponents were all very difficult to deal with, so Tang Ao didn't use this martial skill rashly. But at this moment, when facing Ma San's people, Tang Ao didn't need to be so careful. They were only a group of Origin martial realm trash. But Tang Ao never thought that this martial skill named Battle Dipper would be so horrifying. After releasing this martial skill, the spiritual power inside Tang Ao's body was instantly consumed by 70%. Although this martial skill was horrifying, it also consumed a lot of spiritual power. In a battle, if this kind of martial skill couldn't defeat the enemy in one move, then it would be very dangerous. After Tang Ao's attack, including the 2 first-level Sea of Souls Realm warriors, all of Ma San's people were turned into dust by Tang Ao. Lu Hanxiu also covered her mouth. She didn't expect Tang Ao to be so horrifying. With one move, he turned 2 Sea of Souls Realm warriors into dust. Lu Hanxiu was born in a small school. In Lu Hanxiu's school, the highest cultivation was only a first-level Sea of Souls Realm warrior. Lu Hanxiu originally thought that Sea of Souls Realm warriors were unattainable, but after seeing Tang Ao kill 2 first-level Sea of Souls Realm warriors with one move, she had a higher understanding of martial arts. After breaking through to the Sea of Souls Realm, Lu Hanxiu was still a bit proud. But after seeing Tang Ao show his power, Lu Hanxiu realized that even Sea of Souls Realm warriors were not that powerful. At this moment, Ma San also looked at Tang Ao in shock. After seeing Tang Ao's move, Ma Sen secretly rejoiced that he did not rashly attack Tang Ao. Otherwise, he would have been seriously injured even if he had not died. Ma Sen had figured out the strength of Tang Ao from the spirit leaked by Tang Ao. A martial artist at the third level of the spirit ocean realm was one level higher than him. Ma Sen was far away from the battle circle, so he was not affected by Tang Ao's battle heavenly dipper technique. At this moment, facing Tang Ao, Ma Sen had only two ways to go, either die or kill Tang Ao. As for sneaking away, Ma Sen had never thought about it. Ma Sen had already noticed that the battle heavenly dipper technique that Tang Ao had just used up a lot of spirit power. According to his countless life and death experiences, he was sure that Tang Ao would not be able to release this kind of martial skill in a short period of time. Therefore, the way Ma Sen looked at Yi Chun gradually became greedy. Tang Ao was a third-level Sea of Souls realm warrior, and every storage ring of a Sea of Souls realm warrior could be said to be a huge fortune. And Tang Ao was a third-level Sea of Souls realm warrior with a special life spirit and powerful martial skills, so his wealth was also quite high. Ma Sen thought to himself that he had offended Tang Ao today, and Tang Ao would definitely remember it in the future. In the future, if he met Tang Ao again, it would definitely be a fight to the death. Since that's the case, he might as well take advantage of Tang Ao's weakened state to kill him. Chapter 377. However, facing a small character like Ma Sen, Tang Ao was not afraid at all. Tang Ao clenched his fist, and the sun-shooting godly bow appeared in Tang Ao's hand. After that, Tang Ao took out a silver feather arrow from his storage ring. He knocked the silver feather arrow on the sun-slaying divine bow and aimed at Ma Sen. Not long ago, Tang Ao had killed a Seas of Souls realm level 3 warrior with the sun-shooting godly bow, and Ma Sen was only a Seas of Souls realm level 2 warrior. It was obviously impossible for him to block out the sun-shooting godly bow. However, before Tang Ao pulled the bowstring, a young baby's voice was heard. "Tang Ao, back off. Leave this little bastard to me." Then, Tang Ao saw the red gold cocoon that was wrapped around Shao Kong start to burn slowly, and a powerful chi spread out from the cocoon. Feeling that chi, even Tang Ao's expression changed. The fifth floor of Linghai Jing. Tang Ao had thought that Shao Kong's power would increase drastically after the breakthrough, but Tang Ao did not expect that Shao Kong's power would increase to this level. However, when Tang Ao remembered that Shao Kong had swallowed the legendary dragon plant and fire Jin Jin essence, Tang Ao felt relieved. Tang Ao was the reincarnation of a demon king, so his knowledge was naturally not something that normal people could compare with. Even in Tang Ao's previous life, these two treasures were something that could only be found by luck for Tang Ao. Shao Kong had swallowed these two natural treasures at the same time, so it would be impossible for him not to be powerful. That red gold cocoon did not turn into ashes in the flame. Instead, as the flame continued to burn, it eventually turned into a red gold long dress. Then, a small figure quickly put on the dress in a mass of white light. Her body floated lightly before landing next to Tang Ao. At that moment, Little Kong had already transformed into his human form. However, after transforming, Little Kong was only as tall as Tang Ao's waist. Tang Ao had originally felt that Little Kong was not very old. After transforming, Tang Ao was even more certain of his conjecture. Shao Kong was dressed in a long red dress with her hair tied into two ponytails. She had a pair of large glass-like eyes on her delicate face that were shining with a mesmerizing light. When Tang Ao saw Little Kong's adorable appearance, he couldn't help but stretch out his hand and wipe Little Kong's delicate face. After her face was touched by Tang Ao, she became very angry. She opened her mouth and spat out a fireball. But when Tang Ao used his spiritual power to shake it, her fireball dissipated. After the fireball was dispersed by Tang Ao, Shao Kong glared at Tang Ao fiercely, as if he wanted to bite Tang Ao. However, Tang Ao acted as if he didn't see it and touched little Kong's forehead as if no one was around. Suddenly, Tang Ao had a flash of inspiration and said to little Kong, "Now that you have successfully transformed, it's time to give you a name." After saying that, Tang Ao held his head and thought for a moment. "Your surname will be my surname. As for your name, I'll call you Hua-er. From now on, your name will be Tang Hua-er." Although little Kong didn't dislike this name and was even somewhat satisfied with it, she refused to admit it. "Who asked you to give me a random name? I don't want it." Oomph. However, Tang Ao didn't care at all. "Sister Hua-er, brother Tang Ao, is tired. I will leave this little girl to you." After saying that, Tang Ao picked up Lu Hanxiu, who was on the ground, and walked to the side. As for whether or not Tang Hua-er could beat Ma San, Tang Ao didn't even need to think about it. In Tang Ao's opinion, he might not even be able to beat Tang Hua right now. As for Ma San, who was only at the second level of the Sea of Souls realm, it would be even less of a challenge. After seeing Tang Hua-er, Ma San was also very surprised. Before, he didn't know what was inside that cocoon, but now he understood. Inside that cocoon was a spirit beast that was evolving. It was rare to see a spirit beast that could transform. Therefore, Ma San looked at Tang Hua-er with a hint of greed. This spirit beast and Tang Ao's storage ring were all going to be his. Chapter 378. Tang Ao said casually, "Don't worry. I might not even be a match for Hua now." As for him, Tang Ao didn't continue. He looked at Ma San and shook his head. Then Tang Ao held Lu Hanxiu and retreated to a place far away. He sat down and watched Tang Hua-er's performance quietly. Tang Ao's body was constantly filled with light green light spots. These light spots then merged into Lu Hanxiu's body and healed Lu Hanxiu's injuries. When Lu Hanxiu was refining the spiritual immortal herb's medicinal power, she was interrupted by Ma San and the others, causing her to suffer a backlash from the spiritual immortal herb's majestic medicinal power, causing her meridians to be in a mess. At this moment, although Tang Ao used the Jade Bone Life Spirit to heal Lu Hanxiu's external injuries, Lu Hanxiu still couldn't use any spiritual power because of the damage to her meridians. As the Jade Bone Life Spirit kept flowing into Lu Hanxiu's body, Tang Ao found that Lu Hanxiu's meridians were blocked by a lot of elixir. In addition, Lu Hanxiu was injured by Ma San. At this moment, many small meridians in Lu Hanxiu's body were showing signs of bursting. This kind of injury was not optimistic. As the reincarnation of the Demon Lord, Tang Ao was no stranger to this kind of injury. In his previous life, Tang Ao had experienced countless life and death battles. Tang Ao had also suffered this kind of injury. Therefore, Tang Ao could feel Lu Hanxiu's pain at this moment. The feeling of bursting meridians was extremely painful. It was as if her body was about to explode. So at this moment, Lu Hanxiu was in Tang Ao's arms. Her thin body could not stop trembling. Tang Ao looked down and saw a layer of sweat on Lu Hanxiu's forehead. It was obvious that she was in pain. However, the expression on Lu Hanxiu's face was relaxed, and there was even a slight smile on her face. "Senior brother Tang Ao, I'm fine. Why don't you go help little sister Hua-er?" Although Lu Hanxiu's physical condition was terrible, she was still worried that Tang Hua wouldn't be Ma San's match, so she begged Tang Ao to help Tang Hua-er. Tang Ao looked at this kind girl and couldn't help but pull her into his arms. "Just focus on recuperating, Hua will be fine," Tang Ao said to Lu Hanxiu with a warm smile. With that said, Tang Ao ignored Tang Hua-er's battle and focused on healing Lu Hanxiu's injuries. Tang Hua-er was now a warrior of the 5th floor of Linghai Jing. She could be counted as the one with the highest cultivation that Tang Ao had seen in the Underworld Emperor's secret realm. And Ma San, who was facing Tang Hua, was only a 2nd level Sea of Souls realm warrior. Therefore, Tang Ao was not worried that Tang Hua-er would not be Ma San's match. At most, Tang Hua had just transformed into a human form and could not control her power well enough to kill Ma San quickly. But that was a matter of time. If not, he would wait for Tang Ao to heal Lu Hanxio's injuries and turn him into ashes. Tang Ao had carefully observed the tide. Under the battle heavenly dipper martial skill, not even their remnant souls could escape. Obviously, they could not enter the reincarnation cycle. For a scum like Ma San, Tang Ao did not think there was any need for him to enter the reincarnation cycle. As Tang Ao was healing Lu Hanxio, Tang Hua also came to Ma San. "Tell me, how do you want to die? I will fulfill your wish." Tang Hua did not waste time with Ma San and went straight to the point. Chapter 379. Normally, when a demonic beast reached the Sea of Souls realm, it would have a certain chance to transform. If he still couldn't transform at this time, then he would need to rely on transformation grass or transformation pills or other natural treasures. However, Ma San had seen Tang Hua transform with his own eyes. Therefore, in Ma San's opinion, Tang Hua was at most at the first level of the Sea of Souls realm. When Tang Ao controlled the Jade Bone Life Spirit to repair Lu Hanxio's damaged meridians, Lu Hanxio felt like there were millions of ants crawling on her body, making her feel extremely itchy. At the same time, Lu Hanxio was currently in Tang Ao's arms, and Tang Ao was also holding her tightly. Thus, when Lu Hanxio stole a glance at Tang Ao, her pretty face immediately flushed red. Her heart was beating wildly like a little deer, thumping wildly in her chest. Tang Ao was concentrating on controlling the Jade Bone Life Spirit to repair Lu Hanxio's damaged meridians. Therefore, Tang Ao did not notice the change in Lu Hanxio's expression at all. While Tang Ao was healing Lu Hanxio's injuries, he recalled the little things he discovered after he met Lu Hanxio. Thinking of the beautiful girl's frown, kindness, and innocence, Tang Ao found that he was starting to like this girl. At this time, Tang Hua and Ma San were also fighting. After hearing Ma San's words, Tang Hua was extremely angry. "Oomph! How dare you look down on me? I will burn you to death." Tang Hua said as she clenched her hands, and two fist-sized fireballs instantly appeared. Then, Tang Hua suddenly shot out two small fireballs. The two fireballs drew two red lines of fire in the air and instantly flew to Ma San's side. Facing the burning fireballs, Ma San snorted coldly. Then, an ink octopus life spirit from the 20th level of the sky appeared behind Ma San. After the ink octopus life spirit appeared, a wave of cold air instantly swept out in all directions. Even Tang Ao, who was far away, could sense that the surrounding temperature seemed to have dropped by a few degrees. Tang Ao couldn't help but smile bitterly when he saw Ma San's ink octopus life soul. Tang Hua had devoured the blazing true gold and obtained a special fire life soul. As for Ma San's ink octopus life soul, it was a water elemental life soul. It happened to be the nemesis of Tang Hua's abilities. Fire and water were incompatible, even in terms of life souls. However, Tang Ao didn't believe that Tang Hua's fire life soul was inferior to Ma San's ink octopus life soul. Although Tang Ao was unable to determine what kind of life soul Tang Hua possessed, he knew that it wasn't weak from the terrifying heat emanating from Tang Hua's hands. At that moment, all of Tang Ao's soul power was used to control the Jade Bone life soul. Therefore, he couldn't release his soul power to sense it. However, from the fluctuations of Tang Hua's life soul, Tang Ao could determine that it was at least above the 21st level of the sky. As Tang Ao was pondering, Lu Hanxio suddenly moaned and then shyly plunged into Tang Ao's arms. After Tang Ao's Jade Bone life soul's nourishment, Lu Hanxio's damaged meridians were almost healed by Tang Ao's Jade Bone life soul. However, as Lu Hanxio had just recovered from her injuries, Lu Hanxio was still very weak at the moment. Chapter 380. Tang Ao's eyes were slightly closed at the moment. His hands were naturally resting on his knees, and his breathing was even. Strands of natural power that were invisible to human eyes surrounded Tang Ao and slowly climbed up, then poured into Tang Ao's body. Finally, they were refined by Tang Ao into his own spirit power, flowing in his meridians. On the other side, the battle between Tang Hor and Ma San was still going on. Boom! Another huge ball of flame exploded, and Ma San's charred body was instantly blown away. After falling to the ground, Ma San did not dare to think too much. He immediately controlled his ink octopus life spirit to spit out a huge black water ball in front of him. Ma San's water ball had just appeared when Tang Hor's huge fireball instantly caught up. The moment the fireball and the water ball touched, a string of white smoke came out of Ma San's water ball. Obviously, it could not handle the high temperature of Tang Hor's fireball. As the hot fireball and the black water ball kept colliding, the water ball that Ma San controlled the ink octopus to spit out also kept shrinking. At that moment, Ma San controlled the ink octopus to open its mouth and spit out a mouthful of even darker ink onto the water ball. At that moment, the water ball finally calmed down, but Ma San's heart was in turmoil. Because through this period of battle, Ma San had already used up half of his spirit power. However, Tang, who was in front of him, did not seem to have used up anything. All kinds of beautiful martial skills were thrown at him, as if they were free. After Tang Ao finished adjusting his breath, his spirit power swept out in all directions like a tide. Everything in the whole valley was clearly sensed by Tang Ao. Of course, Tang Ao had also noticed Tang Hor, who was fighting with Ma San. After seeing Tang Hor's fighting style, Tang Ao knew that his worries were not in vain. Although Tang Hor had broken through to the 5th floor of Linghai Jing, she could only use the power of the 2nd level of the Sea of Souls realm at most. If Tang Hor had not broken through to the 5th floor of Linghai Jing and had sufficient spiritual power in her body, she would have been chased and beaten by Ma San. In the current situation, Tang Hor had the upper hand. She had been using all sorts of powerful and wide-ranging martial techniques to suppress Ma San. However, Tang Ao could see that Tang Hor's aim was terrible. Tang Hor's martial techniques were indeed astonishing. However, none of them managed to hit Ma San. Occasionally, there were 1 or 2 hits that were accurate, but Ma San dodged them by a hair's breadth. As for Tang Hor, she was so tired that she was panting with her hands on her waist. Her face was still puffed up with anger. Clearly, she was very dissatisfied with her results. "Humph! Don't hide if you dare. Watch me roast you." Tang Hor was fuming as she looked at Ma San, who was dodging and moving not far away. She was furious. With a thought from Tang Hor, another 5 meteor-like fireballs came crashing down from midair. With a series of rumbling explosions, the stones on the ground were blown to smithereens. The entire valley was filled with sporadic small flames and charred stones. Waves of dust flew up, completely blocking the vision of Tang Ao and the others. A golden light flashed on Tang Ao's body as the battle Saint Bone Life spirit appeared. Tang Ao immediately threw out a punch. The powerful fist wind blew away all the dust in front of Tang Ao. Chapter 381. Seeing his wretched appearance, Ma San was extremely infuriated. Immediately, Ma San steeled his heart. The ink octopus that had been floating above Ma San's head instantly attached itself to Ma San's body. After the ink octopus's possession, Ma San's appearance quickly changed. Black smoke constantly emitted from Ma San's body, covering his figure. However, Tang Ao could still see the situation in the black smoke through the heaven's eye art. However, when Tang Ao saw the situation in the black smoke, he nearly died of disgust. In the black smoke, Ma San had already transformed into a monster with a human head and an octopus body. Apart from his head, Ma San was still human. Everything below his neck had turned into an octopus. Following that, Ma San looked at Tang Hor and grinned sinisterly. He opened his mouth and a blob of pitch-black ink shot at Tang Hor. Although Tang Hor Had broken through to the 5th floor of Linghai Jing. She had yet to completely control the strength of a warrior on the 5th floor of Linghai Jing. Faced with the blob of ink that flashed and instantly appeared in front of her, Tang He was completely dumbfounded. Tang He was stunned, but Tang Ao was more clear-headed than anyone else. Therefore, a golden light flashed on Tang Ao's body. At the same time that the battle sage bone life soul appeared, Tang Ao appeared in front of Tang He. Faced with the extremely fast blob of ink, Tang Ao didn't hesitate to throw out a punch. The powerful force instantly dispersed the blob of ink. Tang Ao's indomitable punch instantly scattered Ma San's blob of ink everywhere. After the ink dripped onto the hard, igneous rock, it emitted a sizzling white smoke. The igneous rock was corroded by the drop of ink. It wasn't only the igneous rock. Everything that came into contact with the ink would be corroded by the special ink. Due to Tang Ao's hasty attack, Tang Ao's Battle Sage Bone Life Soul was splattered with ink. As for the Battle Sage Bone Life Soul that had been invincible, it emitted wisps of white smoke from the ink. His life soul was connected to Tang Ao's body, so Tang Ao immediately noticed that his life soul was damaged. "Brat, I underestimated you just now." The Battle Sage Bone Life Soul emitted a resplendent golden light again. Following that, the corrosive wounds on the Battle Sage Bone Life Soul completely vanished. After being tricked by Ma San's ink ball, Tang Ao did not plan to engage in close combat with him. He immediately took out a golden longbow from his storage ring. It was the Sun-Slaying Divine Bow. Tang Ao held the Sun-Slaying Divine Bow in his hand. In a split second, the bowstring moved like a clap of thunder. Countless arrows transformed from spiritual power shot towards Ma San. Looking at Tang Ao's posture, if Ma San could not avoid Tang Ao's attack, he would instantly become a sieve. However, Ma San's body suddenly swelled several times in the face of the overwhelming spiritual arrows. Soon, a 3-story tall octopus appeared in front of Tang Ao and Tang He. At the center of the giant octopus's eyebrows, Ma San's head also slowly emerged. Seeing Ma San's endless means, even Tang Ao, who was knowledgeable, was secretly surprised. He saw that Ma San was only at the 2nd level of the Sea of Souls realm, so he did not pay much attention to him. Chapter 382. However, after Ma San's martial skill reached its limit, it would turn around and kill Ma San. As for letting Ma San go, Tang Ao had never thought about it. If Tang Ao had come a step later, Lu Hanxiu and Tang He would probably have died at Ma San's hands. Furthermore, when Ma San first saw Tang Ao, he had shown strong killing intent towards Tang Ao. Tang Ao had no intention of letting such a person off. When Lu Hanxiu saw Ma San turn into a monster, she hurriedly stood up and stood to the side with Tang Ao. "You don't have to do anything. Today, we can use him for practice." Tang Ao knew that Lu Hanxiu wanted to help. Tang Ao originally wanted to end the battle quickly, but after Tang Ao sensed that the Battle Sage Bone Life Soul was about to advance, he told Lu Hanxiu and Tang He not to take action. Tang Ao constantly stimulated the Battle Sage Bone Life Soul as a powerful aura swept out in all directions from Tang Ao's body. Lu Hanxiu, who was slightly weaker, even felt a sense of oppression under Tang Ao's aura. At that moment, Tang Ao's body was surrounded by a resplendent golden light. The Battle Sage Bone Life Soul had been stimulated to the extreme by Tang Ao. With a thought from Tang Ao, the 7 green Lotus Sword souls instantly emerged from his body. After a flash of green light in midair, they transformed into 7 cold and sharp green Lotus Swords. After Ma San let out a strange roar, the 8 huge octopus legs crushed towards Tang Ao. Facing an opponent whose cultivation level was 1 level higher than his, Tang Ao didn't dare to be careless. The 7-killing divine way was displayed in an instant, and the green Lotus Sword turned into 7 streams of light, blasting towards the ink octopus. With a few poochie sounds, the green lotus sword pierced through the ink octopus's huge octopus foot. However, Tang Ao's expression suddenly changed. He carried Lu Hanxiu and Tang Hua and flew out. Just as Tang Ao and the other two flew out, the ink octopus's huge octopus feet burst out with 7 streams of sticky liquid. As for Tang Ao's azure lotus life soul, it was corroded into countless specks of light by the mucus before sinking into Tang Ao's body. When Tang Ao bombarded the ink octopus with the 7 slaughter divine way, the 7 streams of light from the 7 slaughter divine way pierced into the octopus's body. Tang Ao instantly sensed that the azure lotus sword had been corroded and shattered, so he hurriedly flew over with Lu Hanxiu and Tang After Ma San turned into this state, he had completely lost his consciousness. Tang Ao hadn't seen this kind of secret art in the outside world, so it should be a secret art of the Underworld Emperor's secret realm. 10,000 years ago, the Underworld Emperor's secret realm had opened once. However, there was an accident at that time. It was said that a demonic beast had killed most of the disciples who participated in the trial. Demonic beast? Tang Ao subconsciously looked at the ink octopus. The octopus that Ma San had transformed into was 3 stories tall. Its cultivation had reached the 4th level of the Sea of Souls realm. If it weren't for Tang Hua and the people of the Black Water Dragon clan, this ink octopus would have been enough to crush everyone. Could it be that 10,000 years ago, there was also someone who turned into an ink octopus and killed all the warriors who came to participate in the trial? Although the defense of the ink octopus wasn't very strong, its attack methods were very disgusting. This kind of mucus that could corrode a warrior's life soul was almost every warrior's nightmare. The life soul could be seen as a warrior's most important source of strength. However, when faced with this ink octopus, the warrior's greatest reliance was instantly crippled by it. Senior brother Tang Ao, what do we do now? Lu Hanxiu saw that this ink octopus could actually corrode a warrior's life soul, and she was a bit scared. Chapter 383. Right then, the ink octopus continued to chase after the 3, while Tang Ao held Lu Hanxiu and Tang Hua under his armpits, dodging the sticky liquid that was shot out by the octopus. Ever since he started training, Tang Ao had never been in such a difficult situation. If he knew that Ma San, who was at the 2nd level of the Sea of Souls realm, could transform into something like this, Tang Ao would definitely kill him right away. However, it was too late now. This Sea of Souls realm level 4 ink octopus was definitely not that easy to deal with. As Tang Ao escaped, he secretly thought of a way to deal with the octopus. Tang Ao had already tried it before, and the sticky liquid of the ink octopus had a special corrosive effect on life spirits. Therefore, it was obviously impossible to use life spirits to defeat this octopus. After flying to a mountain wall, Tang Ao stopped and took out the Sunshot Godly Bow. After taking out the Sunshot Godly Bow, Tang Ao did not use his spirit power to form an arrow to kill this ink octopus. Instead, he took out the silver arrow that he had taken from Long Junyang. The spiritual arrow formed from spiritual energy could only deal limited damage to the ink octopus, so Tang Ao took out Long Junyang's silver feather arrow. After taking out the silver arrow, Tang Ao started to communicate with the 6-light mirror on his neck, guiding it to inject its horrifying pressure into the silver arrow. In the past, Tang Ao had experienced the power of this silver feather arrow, but at that time, the pressure in the silver feather arrow was just an ordinary dragon's pressure. However, right now, the silver arrow in Tang Ao's hand had the pressure of the 6-light mirror, so its power could be easily seen. After finishing the preparation, Tang Ao immediately took out the bow, wanting to kill this ink octopus. However, the ink octopus seemed to have sensed that Tang Ao had locked onto it, so it roared again and flew toward Tang Ao and the other 2. Right then, the Sunshot Godly Bow did not have enough power, so its power was naturally not enough. Therefore, Tang Ao gave up on this arrow. Humph! Watch me burn to death. Tang Hua-er's pretty face turned serious when she saw the ink octopus rush over. Following that, Tang Hua-er waved her hands downwards. 10 meteor-like fireballs bombarded the ink octopus from the sky. Seeing Tang Hua-er's casual attack, Tang Ao did not need to look to know that Tang Hua-er would not be able to hit accurately this time. As expected, when Tang Hua-er's 10 gigantic fireballs bombarded the area below, the ink octopus actually withstood the fireball's bombardment and charged towards Tang Ao and company. At this time, the sunshot divine bow in Tang Ao's hands was pushed to its limit, and the silver feather arrow on the bowstring trembled slightly. But this wasn't fear, it was excitement. As the ink octopus got closer and closer to Tang Ao's group, the silver feather arrow in Tang Ao's hand flew towards the ink octopus like a meteor. Puchi! Just as Tang Ao expected, the silver-feathered arrow also entered the body of the ink octopus. However, after a moment, the ink octopus suddenly let out a sharp cry. Following that, the ink octopus seemed to have encountered something terrifying, and it actually fled in front of Tang Ao's shocked eyes. Seeing this, Tang Ao was stunned. Lu Hanxiu also did not understand what was happening. Tang Hua-er, who was preparing a big move, forcibly stopped it. What's going on? Tang Hua-er asked curiously. Tang Ao shook his head. Could it be that the silver feather arrow is powerful? Originally, Tang Ao had only wanted to use the silver feather arrow to resist the monster. He did not expect the silver feather arrow to be so powerful. It actually managed to scare the monster away with one strike. Chapter 384. After the ink octopus escaped, Tang Ao and Tang Hua started to recover in the valley. Although the ink octopus was at the 4th level of the Sea of Soul's realm like Long Junliang, its mucus had a corrosive effect on life spirits. Therefore, Tang Ao had used up a lot of his energy in that battle. Inside Tang Ao's body, the green lotus sword spirit's radiance was a bit dim. It was clearly injured quite badly. When Tang Ao sat down cross-legged, Lu Hanxiu and Tang Hua also sat down cross-legged. Lu Hanxiu had just recovered from her injuries and needed some time to recuperate before she could fully recover. As for Tang Hua, she was completely exhausted. In the battle with the ink octopus, Tang Hua had been using all her power. But the awkward thing was that Tang Hua's martial skills could not hit the ink octopus at all. Layers of light green light dots were like countless dancing fireflies, constantly drifting out of Tang Ao's body. Then, they covered Tang Hua and Lu Hanxiu, helping them recover their yuan qi. With a thought from Tang Ao, the green lotus sword spirit also turned into a green lotus and flew out of Tang Ao's body. Then, Tang Ao used a part of the jade bone life spirit's light dots to wrap around the green lotus, nourishing the injured green lotus sword spirit. After adjusting his breathing, Tang Ao slowly spat out a mouthful of turbid air, and his eyes flashed with a bright light. Tang Ao's powerful aura also gradually retracted. If it were not for Tang Ao and Lu Hanxiu sitting back to back, the two would not have been able to sense Tang Ao's existence. After a series of battles, although Tang Ao was exhausted, Tang Ao's power had also improved. Right now, although Tang Ao was still at the 3rd level of the Sea of Soul's realm, within the same level, Tang Ao was probably unrivaled. What concealed Tang Ao's aura was the effect of the hidden jade body in stone. At this moment, martial artists with low cultivation looked at Tang Ao as if he was an ordinary person who had never cultivated before. Those whose cultivation was similar to Tang Ao's couldn't see through Tang Ao's true strength. After Tang Ao opened his eyes, he glanced at the scene of the battle with the ink octopus. The ground at the bottom of the valley seemed to have been overturned by someone. The towering trees in the surroundings had been turned into a pile of debris. Even the hard mountain walls were full of potholes. It was a tragic sight to behold. Tang Ao looked around and found it strange. Just now, the ink octopus sprayed a lot of mucus around, but at this moment, there was no trace of mucus. Puzzled, Tang Ao jumped into the valley. At that moment, the ink octopus had already escaped, leaving Lu Hanxiu and Tang He on the cliff. Naturally, there was no danger. Tang Ao walked around the valley and found that there really wasn't any mucus in the valley. Did the mucus escape as well? Tang Ao thought it was strange. When the ink octopus was fighting with him, it sprayed out a lot of mucus, but at this moment, the mucus disappeared along with the ink octopus. While Tang Ao was confused, the thousand ghosts seeking soul in Tang Ao's body was shaking with excitement. Tang Ao didn't know what the thousand ghosts seeking soul meant, so he summoned it out. Clang! Clang! Chapter 385. After summoning the soul-seeking thousand ghosts, it became even more excited. Although the soul-seeking thousand ghosts transmitted a message to Tang Ao had no idea what it was trying to do. Immediately, Tang Ao released the control on the soul-seeking thousand ghosts, allowing it to move freely. Sure enough, after Tang Ao released the control, the soul-seeking thousand ghosts began to wander around the valley floor. As the soul-seeking thousand ghosts wandered around the valley floor, traces of greenish-gray resentment were constantly attracted by the soul-seeking thousand ghosts, drifting towards the location of the soul-seeking thousand ghosts. Tang Ao was stunned. Having been at the valley floor for so long, Tang Ao had never sensed such a heavy resentment. But as the resentment continued to gather towards the soul-seeking thousand ghosts, Tang Ao quickly discovered that something was wrong. Because as the greenish-gray resentment continued to gather, the resentment around the soul-seeking thousand ghosts actually became more viscous. Seeing this scene, Tang Ao knew where the mucus that the ink octopus sprayed out just now went. At the same time, Tang Ao was secretly shocked in his heart. The ink octopus actually had so much resentment. The mucus that the ink octopus sprayed out just now was actually liquefied because of the intense resentment. Although Tang Ao was the reincarnation of the Demon Lord, in Tang Ao's previous life, he did not experience so much resentment. After the resentment drifted around the soul-seeking thousand ghosts, it was absorbed by the soul-seeking thousand ghosts. Every time the soul-seeking thousand ghosts absorbed and evolved a wisp of resentment, Tang Ao could sense an unconscious soul ascending to the heavens. Although these souls had lost their consciousness, they all revealed expressions of relief. The souls that ascended to the heavens all maintained the appearance of the moment before they died. Tang Ao noticed that these soul services were very strange. Some were from this era, and some were from the era of Tang Ao's previous life. In other words, these people did not die together. As the soul-seeking thousand ghosts continuously absorbed resentment to evolve the soul-seeking thousand ghosts' pitch black chains also emitted a layer of dark purple luster. Tang Ao's main body was connected to the soul of 10,000 ghosts. So Tang Ao could naturally sense that this was a sign that the soul of 10,000 ghosts was about to advance. The 10,000 ghosts seeking soul was clearly a pretty good life soul among the 365 life souls recorded in the Heaven Evolution Record. However, although the Heaven's Evolution Record recorded the 10,000 ghosts seeking soul, there was no record of the 10,000 ghosts seeking soul advancement. With a thought, Tang Ao summoned the Heaven's Evolution Record and recorded the process of the 10,000 ghosts seeking soul's 2 breakthroughs, as well as the things to take note of into the Heaven's Evolution Record. After Lu Hanxiu finished regulating her breathing, she saw Tang Ao at the bottom of the valley. At this moment, Tang Ao was standing on a piece of rock at the bottom of the valley. In front of Tang Ao floated a book that glowed with a pale yellow light. As for Tang Ao, he was completely focused on writing something on the book with his soul power. Seeing Tang Ao's focused look, Lu Hanxiu's heart started thumping again. Lu Hanxiu rested her cheeks on her hands and looked at Tang Ao with a slightly red face. When Lu Hanxiu stared at Tang Ao immediately felt that Lu Hanxiu was looking at him. This was because half of Tang Ao's jade bone life soul was still inside Lu Hanxiu's body, nourishing her body. After feeling Lu Hanxiu's gaze, Tang Ao's aura moved slightly, but quickly returned to normal. As for the jade bone life soul, it was connected to Tang Ao. When Tang Ao's aura changed, it also suddenly trembled. Then, Lu Hanxiu suddenly coughed, as if she had choked on water. Chapter 386. Tang Ao originally thought that after absorbing so much resentment, the all-go seeking soul could advance to the 24th firmament life soul. However, although the all-go seeking soul was much stronger than before, it was still far from reaching the 24th firmament life soul strength. After fiddling with the soul of 10,000 ghosts for a while, Tang Ao stored the soul of 10,000 ghosts. However, when Tang Ao wanted to put away the all-ghost seeking soul, the all-ghost seeking soul emitted a resistant emotion. Following that, the all-ghost seeking soul's massive body immediately shrank, finally turning into a plain black bracelet that was tied to Tang Ao's wrist. Tang Ao was stunned. There are life souls that like to stay in the outside world. Under normal circumstances, life souls would stay in the boundless universe. After being awakened by a warrior, the life soul would also stay in the warrior's life soul space. Tang Ao had lived 2 lives, and in his previous life, he was a notorious fiend supremacy. However, Tang Ao had never heard of a life soul that liked to stay in the outside world. Looking at the pitch black and ordinary all-ghost seeking soul on his wrist, Tang Ao ultimately didn't put it away into his life soul space. Since the all-ghost seeking soul wanted to stay outside and had completely concealed its aura, Tang Ao didn't want to reject it. However, Tang Ao still found it strange. Among all the life souls that Tang Ao had awakened so far, the Jade Bone Vitality Life Soul should be the most active, but the Jade Bone Vitality Life Soul had never experienced a similar situation. However, the Jade Bone Vitality Life Soul seemed to be equally active, be it in Tang Ao's life soul space or in the outside world. Tang Ao probed the life soul space in his body with his soul power and saw the Jade Bone Vitality Life Soul tightly wrapped around his entire life soul. The Battle Sage Bone Life Soul lazily enjoyed the nourishment of the Jade Bone Vitality Life Soul, but a few life souls protested as though they had lost their freedom. Hey, Tang Ao, why are you in a daze down there? The Netherworld Emperor Mystic Realm only opens once every 10,000 years. Why are you wasting time here instead of searching for treasures? I'm about to set off, shouted Tang Hoa when she saw Tang Ao motionless in the valley. She put her hands on her hips and shouted at Tang Ao. Tang Ao raised his head and looked at Tang Hua's adorable look. With a flash of golden light, he appeared beside Tang Hua and pinched her tender cheeks. Let's go and find a tempest nether cloud. Ah, you stinking Tang Ao, you actually dare to bully this young lady. See if I don't bite you to death. Tang Hua yelled and was about to charge at Tang Ao, but before she could take 2 steps, her feet were suspended in the air. Tang Hua turned her head and saw Lu Hanxiu smiling at her. It was Lu Hanxiu who had carried her. Big sister Lu, hurry and let go of me. I want to bite Tang Ao to death. After being carried by Lu Hanxiu, Tang Hua bared her fangs at Tang Ao while speaking to Lu Hanxiu. Lu Hanxiu looked at Tang Hua's adorable look and could not help but hug her and kiss her. At this moment, Tang Hua looked like a 5 or 6-year-old child. She was wearing a bright red princess dress, and her hair was tied into 2 pigtails. She looked like a porcelain doll. After being kissed by Lu Hanxiu, Tang Hua calmed down and also kissed Lu Hanxiu on the cheek. Hua likes big sister Lu. In the future, Hua will not be with stinking Tang Ao. Oof. Chapter 387. After consuming the dragon transformation grass, the great void sage dragon bloodline in Tang Hua's body should have been activated to the greatest extent. Therefore, Tang Hua had a certain chance of evolving into a great Void Sage Dragon. However, Tang Ao could not see the shadow of a great Void Sage Dragon in Tang Hua. Furthermore, as Tang Hua had consumed the Dragon Transformation Grass and refined the Infernal True Gold at the same time, Tang Ao was unsure what Tang Hua had advanced to. Upon hearing Tang Ao's question, Tang Hua turned her pretty face to the side and no longer looked at Tang Ao. Instead, she whispered into Lu Hanqiu's ear, "Sister Lu, let me tell you. Hua has already evolved into a burning fire true dragon. Thank you, Sister Lu, for protecting Hua when he was evolving." Burning fire? True dragon? Lu Hanqiu was quite frightened by Tang Hua's words. Her beautiful eyes looked at Tang Hua in shock, and she could not help but say this. Hearing Lu Hanqiu's words, Tang Ao was also surprised, but then he became happy. Not bad, not bad. As expected of this sovereign's spiritual pet, it has actually evolved into a burning flame true dragon. When Tang Ao gave Tang Hua the blazing spring true gold, he had a sliver of anticipation. He wondered if Tang Hua would advance into the legendary blazing true dragon after refining the blazing spring true gold. Unexpectedly, Tang Hua did not disappoint Tang Ao. She had really advanced into the legendary fiery mantis true dragon. The dragon race that was commonly referred to was the ordinary yellow dragon race. Among the dragon clan, the yellow dragons were the most numerous, but they were also the weakest. Above the yellow dragons were the true dragons. The true dragon clan's population was only 1/10,000th that of the yellow dragon clan, but the true dragon clan had many branches. Long Junyang, whom Tang Ao had previously encountered, had a 5-clawed golden dragon life soul of the true dragon race. As for Tang Hua, she had also evolved into a burning flame true dragon, a branch of the true dragon race. In the black-yellow continent, the 5-clawed golden dragon would occasionally appear, but the burning flame true dragon was a legendary existence. After knowing that Tang Hua had advanced to become a burning flame true dragon, Tang Ao also understood why Tang Hua could use those powerful fire-attributed martial techniques as she pleased. Tang Ao, do you know your mistakes now? In the past, you did not treat me well at all. However, once I cultivate to a certain level, I will undo the blood contract with you. Tang Hua looked at Tang Ao's astonished expression and felt very pleased with herself. But when Tang Hua saw the 2 dark purple fruits in Tang Ao's hand, she immediately knew she was wrong. The 2 fruits Tang Ao mentioned were called dragon fruits. When Tang Ao and Luo Tsai went to Qingchuan town last time, a group of merchants gave them to Tang Ao. They were piled up like a small mountain in Tang Ao's storage ring. This fire dragon fruit tasted delicious and could purify a martial artist's fire attribute spiritual energy. As the attributes were not the same as Tang Ao's, Tang Ao had always kept it in his storage ring. He did not expect it to come in handy today. Legend had it that the burning flame true dragon loved to eat dragon fruits. Seeing Tang Hua's expression, Tang Ao knew that the rumors were true. Smelly Tang Ao, hurry up and give me this fruit. I will write off the matter of you offending me previously. Otherwise, wait for me. When Tang Hua saw the dragon fruit, she immediately extended her 2 tender hands towards Tang Ao. Saliva dripped from the corner of her mouth. Tang Hua did not know what Tang Ao was holding in his hands, but she instinctively felt that the dark purple fruit in Tang Ao's hand must be delicious. When Tang Ao heard Tang Hua's tone, he used his hands to tear off the skin of the dragon fruit, revealing the milky white flesh of the dragon fruit. Then, he took a bite of the dragon fruit. Smelly Tang Ao, how dare you? You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.